With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Beck and Matsurif Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? lawpbm.com.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is being brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, Power, Beck and Matsuref Law Offices, Senate Finance Chairman Jason Barrett, Hagerstown Ford, Fort Evans Archery, Rocks Local Markets, the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, personal injury attorneys, Cody's Auto Body, the Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, Ameriprise Financial and the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, CMA Honda of Winchester, CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, CMA Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, Dignity Memorial Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery of Martinsburg, Floor Pools of Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg, and Next Level Auto Detailing. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
We welcome you out here to Frostburg State University Bobcats Stadium for Shepherd University Rams football as the Rams kick off the 2025 season against the Frostburg State Bobcats. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, Dylan Bishop, our on-site producer, Kyler High, our cameraman, as we get ready for Shepherd University Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Our pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Travis, Shepherd here, a new-look team for the Rams this season. A lot of new faces, some returners from last year, but it was a disappointing year last year for the Rams, 6-5. Frostburg State also finished last season 6-5. They've lost their final 5 games of the season, though. So Shepherd comes in, had the tough season last year, but looking for a new return to their glory, I guess you could say.
Absolutely. And you look at the success that Shepherd has had here in recent years. That's why you can look at a 6-5 season and kind of look at that as a disappointment. But you look at some of the games that they played, really wasn't a lot of blowouts on that schedule. It was a lot of close games against top competition. So they were competitive last year. Just sometimes the breaks don't go your way. And that was the case for Shepherd last season. And you mentioned Frostburg got out to a red hot start and then the wheels fell off. And fortunately for them, they do have a lot of returners coming back, so you could see that chemistry in favor of the Bobcats showing up early in this ball game because, like you mentioned, Shepherd, a lot of new faces in a lot of different places, and it's going to be interesting to see how that team gels and comes together and, more importantly, learns how to win as a unit.
We'll go ahead and take our first break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Did you know a fully loaded truck weighs 80,000 pounds?
I do know that they can cause a lot of damage in a wreck.
Over 40,000 people die every year in crashes.
And distracted driving is getting even worse.
I wish we had better ways to prevent distracted driving.
Me too. But one thing we can do is help people who've been injured in car and truck accidents.
Hurting almost heaven? Dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
When it comes to surgery, experience and innovation matter. At WVU Medicine, our board-certified surgeons use the latest robotic and minimally invasive techniques to provide better outcomes and faster recoveries. We offer a full range of procedures including advanced hernia repair, anti-reflux surgery, breast cancer surgery, colon resection, gallbladder removal, skin cancer, and lesion removal. Trust the region's leader in advanced surgical care. Call WVU Medicine Surgery today at 304-596-2150.
The thing I'm most passionate about with my clients is that 95% of them that come to me, they've never been in trouble in their lives. They've got careers, promising futures, things that matter.
So thankfully, after it was all said and done, I had no DUI and I had no more stress facing me or my family.
When you're on the fence whether to hire a DUI attorney, I always say that you really cannot afford not to. My name is Harley Wagner. My law practice has been exclusively focused on driving under the influence cases throughout the state of West Virginia.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We welcome you back here to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Our coaches interview is brought to you by Parsons Ford. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. Here with the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. Coach, getting ready for the first game against Frostburg State, but just take us through the offseason. What are some things that you liked about the team?
We've had, I think, a great offseason. I think our coaches, players have done a great job from the end of last season preparing through winter workouts and conditioning and going into spring ball and summer workouts to preseason camp. Like where our team's at, I think they've put a lot of effort into building the team to be strong with a great foundation. So I'm very optimistic about the 25 season.
A lot of new faces for your team after the transfer portal and everything, and then some new coaches as well. So just what's it been like seeing those guys grow and develop together?
You know what? That was a challenge we had coming into camp with the new faces and new offense coordinator and Rob Ambrose. We're in a good spot. I think everybody's worked extremely hard. I like where we're at. I like the things we're doing offensively, the changes we've made. Where we're at with everything we're doing. So we're in a really good spot.
You mentioned some of those changes. I know you don't want to get into probably too many specifics,
Sure.
But just what do you expect to be different about this year's offense compared to maybe the past?
Well, it's not really what's different. I think we're going to have some key guys back in some experienced positions. Like we're going to have Ty Lucas and Brandon Carr up front on the offensive line. Jordan Barnett and Grant Swinehart and Malachi Brown on offense. I think those guys are going to be really key into how our offense performs. Defensively, getting Nathan Muley back along with Jack Baxter, those are guys we didn't have last year. I think Joe Groves is going to have to step up. And Clayton Batten and Gio Tolbert, I think those are all guys that are going to do some great things for us. And I know they're going to perform well. The challenges for us are going to be the guys that are in new roles, or the guys that are going to be playing in significant roles for the first time, if they're able to step up and play at a high level. That's what's really going to dictate how our season goes.
This week against Frostburg State, kick off the season at their place on Saturday night. Just what are you seeing from them, and what will be the challenge this week?
They're a really hard-nosed, well-coached football team. They've done a great job transitioning over the last 6 years into the Mountain East Division II. They've built a great roster. They have players that play hard. They're well coached. I think the strength of their team is their defense, the way they've played and been able to do things, but they're very effective on offense. They have some talented wide receivers that can stretch the field, but they're also, like us, want to be a physical football team and be successful running the football.
And it's a close game as well to open up the year. Do you see this as a continuation of some sort of rivalry down the line?
I think it's a game that's going to have a lot of interest. One in the region, because we have a lot of alums that are in their backyard, and they have alums in our backyard. I think that it's being so close, it's a Division II game that we should be playing and should have been playing. The fact that we signed a 6-year deal with them, I think, and it's very convenient for both programs, travel-wise. I think we're just in a really good spot there. I think they have to appreciate playing us as much as we appreciate playing them and what it does for the energy in each of our programs.
All right, Coach, anything else before this week?
Go Rams.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Once again, our coaches' interviews brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. We'll be back with more on the other side of this break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, owners just care more about you. When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg, owners just care more about you.
The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, we are honored to help you plan a celebration of life that reflects one's individuality.
Our trusted local team is here to see that your wishes are honored and that your special story is told.
We welcome you back here to Frostburg State University. Nick Verzolino alongside me, Travis Smith. Travis kind of gave an overview of each team earlier as we look at Shepherd. Like I said, 6-5 season a year ago. Rams new starting quarterback in Mike Hardyway, a grad student. Outside of that, and some new receivers, and Jaden Ashby, who transfers over from Southern Utah. You do have Malachi Brown, who was a running back last year, but a returner on offense, back out there, a wide receiver. Cordell Ben's been a young guy that's made some progress over the last few years. He'll be starting as well. And then offensive line, a lot of experience comes back. So it's a good situation. Running back is the highlight there for this team with Barnett and Swinehart. it seems like if they can just get some consistent quarterback play from Hardyway, they could have a successful season offensively and a new offensive coordinator, Rob Ambrose.
And I think it's something where you're going to see Shepherd kind of return to their glory days of having that ground and pound style of offense, like you mentioned, having those big physical offensive linemen coming back, also having a couple of top-notch running backs coming back. So that's something where that's going to be able to help out that young quarterback as he gets acclimated to having that new wide receiving core.
Jason Lanza as well, the Jefferson product there at tight end, a guy that could stand out this season. He's had a lot of hype throughout the offseason defensively for Shepherd. It's a veteran group for the most part outside of linebacker, so we'll see how those guys step up.
Young linebackers, and Shepherd does a good job of rotating in fresh legs throughout the game, and a familiar face coming back to that defensive line, and I'm sure the Shepherd faithful are happy to see Nathan Muley coming back. He was really starting to surge. Last year was at Harding University down in Arkansas, but has come back to Shepherd, and you remember back to that season that he was with Shepherd when they were still rotating around that defensive line trying to find the right combination, and they found something that really clicked with his playing style when they moved him out on the edge playing that defensive end spot, and he was really doing a good job of getting pressure. Remember that big game he had against Westchester where he had 3 sacks in that game, so they're hoping that he can return to form and give that Shepherd defensive front a good pass rush. They're going to need that today because Frostburg, very big up front. That's going to be a huge factor in today's game is how that Shepherd front seven matches up against that massive offensive line from Frostburg, because that's a group that only gave up 15 sacks all of last season.
Take another break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from Shepherd Rams wide receiver Malachi Brown as well as defensive back Clayton Batten. This is the TV10 pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, and when we return, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football on TV10.
You're right, Robbie. August heat calls for a free flow treat. At Floor Pools, August is sizzling, and so are the deals. Right now, grab a budget-friendly plug-and-play hot tub starting at just $59 a month. I knew you'd approve, Robbie. No special wiring, no electricians. Just plug in, start soaking, and enjoy pure relaxation. And here's where it really gets good. Free Flow makes it easy to redefine real family time. The kind where everyone actually puts down their phones and laughs together. No screens, no schedules, just warm water and cool conversations. And Floor Pools will throw in over $250 in free value with steps and the Frog Water Care System, which includes chlorine and minerals. Yep, Robbie is so psyched to start soaking. Don't miss the fun. Grab your sizzling summer deals now at Floor Pools in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, or Martinsburg, or online at floorpools.com. Floor Pools, your one-stop shop for backyard fun.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Arden-Nullville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com.
Our player interviews are brought to you by the Murias Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or call 304-263-4343. Here's Shepherd Rams defensive back Clayton Batten. Clayton, another season for you, one of the leaders on the defense this year. Just what's it been like this offseason and getting ready for the year?
It's been amazing. Just to bond with the guys, the new guys, the incoming freshmen, and just teaching them the ways of the Shepherd way and growing them up to be a better player than I was. Just to teach them the better ways to do everything and get better every day.
You have a decent amount of experience coming back in the DB room. Linebacker, you guys are a little young, and then D-line, you have some guys coming back. So just what's that been like to gel with those new guys, and how do you feel like each unit of the defense is working well together?
It's really amazing to see, watch and see, like, how the young guys can teach some of the older guys can teach some of the younger guys, and then everybody adds their own little sauce to it, so it's not real bland, so everybody's not playing like a robot. From D-line to linebackers to even DBs, I can teach the young guys something, and they can teach me something that their coach can teach them, so then I add that into my repertoire to be better than everything. But it's all in all, it's amazing to see, like, watching everybody work different moves, watch everybody do different things, and just be a great player and be an outstanding player.
Defense the last couple of years has really been a strength of the team. How do you continue that this season?
How we continue that is just diving more into our playbook. We did a lot of changes in our playbook, but everything is keeping the main thing, diving in our playbook, going hard, doing extra time after practice, not just keeping just straight practice, because everybody knows hard work beats talent every time. So if we working hard and had the talent, we're going to beat anybody and everything. And then not even just our defense. When we work on our offense too, if the defense is pushing the offense, that's going to make us better as a whole team. And it's just not the defense, it's everybody. So now you got to stop us in all three phases.
What's that relationship kind of been like through camp? How's the competition been with the offense?
Outstanding. I love how we running our system by everybody pushing each other. DBs pushing everybody, receivers pushing everybody. Everybody's holding each other accountable. Like, it's not just one person does their own thing. Everybody's held accountable in the same way. If anybody does anything wrong, you're held accountable, and that's going to push us to be a better team. All in all, make us go farther.
What's the season kind of mean to you? You had the injury a few years ago. You've been a starter since pretty much freshman year, so always been a big impact player for this team. What's this season going to mean to you?
The season means to me a lot. I didn't accomplish a lot of things I wanted to do personally as I did last year, but my main goal is to do better than last year, do way better than last year. Just accomplishing every goal as a team, as doing my part, as doing everybody's part, as being a leader, quote-unquote leader on this team, and just making sure everybody is held accountable, doing what they got to do, and staying into the books.
Frostburg State this week, week one. What do you expect out of their offense?
A lot of run. Well, I'm not really too worried about what they're doing, because if we do our part, we should win, because Week 0 is always a hard game, because we're going based off of last year, and then we get the scouting report. We don't never know what we're going to see until the day of the game. So we're going based off of last year, because they could have changed anything up. They can do a lot of tricky stuff, tricky plays, but we won't know until the game. So really, it's just making sure we are dialed in and doing everything in our power to be better than them.
First game on the road, 6 p.m. kickoff. Relatively close, though, away game, so
yes,
expect some Rams fans to make the trip. What's that going to be like to have a night game so close to home?
It's going to be amazing, because somebody asked me a question earlier today, when is the last time I had a night game? It's been a while since I had a night game. So not only it being a night game and under the lights, under the big lights, and because this is my last year, I got to show up. Everybody has to show up. And because it's a night game, you don't get this too many times. Because normally every time we play is 12. So under the lights, who's going to show up, who's not, and I think we're going to show up.
We're here with Shepherd Rams wide receiver Malachi Brown. I guess we'll start with that. Moving back to wide receiver this year, what's that going to be like for you?
It's exciting. I played here, came to Shepherd in 2020, and I was a receiver until 2022, and then I got hurt. So the adjustment, it's a small adjustment. I'm ready for it, ready to catch the balls in the air, ready to not go versus all 11 every play. Play the game we're going to play.
Playing running back and getting that experience and then moving back to receiver, I guess, how does that help you in some ways, do you think? Were you able to take anything from maybe playing a different position or having a different role on the team to lead into this year?
Yeah, so being a running back, little things like, reading blocks, being able to press blocks, definitely has advanced my game. Box understanding, not only the D linemen, what the LBs, what they're doing, it's easier to read the box out. So being able to see the box and then see the coverage is a lot easier. Basically just understanding football and IQ has helped me a lot being a running back, and then transition to receiver. That's where I was first, as I said earlier. So it's all good.
Coach Ambrose comes in, new offensive coordinator for you guys. From what Coach says, it's pretty much going to be the same offense, just maybe he's adding some new wrinkles to it. What's it been like to learn, though, from him and what he brings to the team?
Coach Ambrose, he brings a huge energy role to the team. Definitely that. He's very fine on refining stuff. So accountability is super huge back again in the culture. Shepherd, a very rowdy guy. He'll never let you do something wrong until you get it right. He's obviously he was a head coach at Towson, so his IQ for football is very, very adequate. So it's like being able to have him linked to our offense, and then also add versatile ways that we can prepare and do better things on the field, has advanced us as an offense altogether.
And overall, it's a pretty young wide receiver room that you're kind of being a leader of. What's that been like for you?
We had guys like Jaden Ashby come. He transferred from Utah State, I think. You got climbing guys like Marcus Nicholson, Deli, another kid that you've seen in our offense play a huge role. Stepping up guys like Kason Lanza in the tight end position. I think the guys that we have are all complementing each other. I'm really excited to see, honestly, what we do this Saturday for our first game versus FSU. But all in all, I think being able to help them with my understanding of the offense has made us better in the offensive room.
Frostburg State here, week 1. What have you seen from their defense? What will be some keys for you guys offensively?
Really, a lot of from film, from some study from last year. Don't really know if we're gonna get the same thing, just because they had a lot of transfer roles out of there too. But a lot of base down 4-2 box. We'll sometimes see a 4-3, 4-1 box. Get a bare front if we're in red zone. A lot of their base coverage is cover 1, so it's just really like who's the better athletes out there. We just got to win our matchups, and I think we come out with a win.
Last one here, Malachi. First game of the year on the road, but a 6 p.m. start for you against Frostburg State. So what's it going to be like to go on the road, have a night game, and pretty close still to Ram Stadium, and probably have a lot of fans make the trip?
Yeah. Last year we started out with a road game too, and we hit it big. So I expect the same thing. I think we'll come out guns a-blazing again. Really, sorry, I'm like, of course, with this B right now. Yeah, but I'm super excited. I think we're gonna hit the ground running. We got all of our guys back, all healthy. Ty Lucas, Brandon Carr, all of our linemen's back. So I think we're gonna go down and dominate.
Our player interviews are brought to you by the Murias Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or call 304-263-4343.
If you or someone you know suffers from the disease of addiction, help is available from the Berkeley County Quick Response Team with peer recovery coaches and support promptly to the homes of those who've recently experienced an overdose. This collective effort towards recovery brings resources and services to the community, including naloxone and treatment options. Call 304-267-1313 or visit the Berkeley County Recovery Resource Center at 800 Emmett Rouse Drive, Martinsburg. The Berkeley County Quick Response Team is funded through a DHHR grant with the Berkeley-Morgan County Health Department.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
You have choices when it comes to appliance repair, but before you call a large corporate chain, consider what BW Appliance brings to the table. BW Appliance Repair offers fast in-home appliance repair services to the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, including Jefferson County and Berkeley County. We strive for professionalism, dedication, and honesty. Call us today at 304-279-8858 to schedule immediate service. You can also visit us online at bwappliance.repair.
From breathtaking outdoors to unique local eats, world-class geocaching, and thriving local culture, Martinsburg, Berkeley County, West Virginia is where you can live your adventure. Berkeley County offers fantastic outdoor experiences, from our rugged hiking paths to scenic nature paths, public parks, fishing streams, and nature preserves. Cap off your outdoor adventures with a stroll through historic downtown Martinsburg. Join us and immerse yourself in our rich local history and scenic surroundings. Check out upcoming events and plan your adventure at travelwv.com.
Welcome you back here to Frostburg State University as we get ready for kickoff between the Shepherd University Rams and Frostburg State Bobcats. Nick Verzley and Travis Smith here. Our keys to the game brought to you by CMA's Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, all in one convenient location, 650 Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg, where owners just care more. Travis, go ahead and give us our keys for the visitors, Shepherd.
All right, looking at the Shepherd Rams, we touched on it a little bit. We know the strength is going to be on that offensive line in the running game, so that's what's going to be important for Shepherd today. They're going to have to run the ball and control the clock. They want to try to keep that Frostburg offense off the field. That's a group that scored nearly 32 points per game last year. Shepherd, not as much, only 21 points per game last year, so they're going to have to try to control the action and try to keep that high-powered offense off the field. Also, for Shepherd, it's going to be important for them to limit big plays on special teams. This is a group for the Bobcats that had 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns last year, so you really don't want to give them any more of an advantage as far as putting points on the board, so you want to limit those big plays on special teams. Also, we talked about it some a little bit earlier, Shepherd defense, they're going to have to force turnovers, and one of the best ways to force turnovers is getting after the quarterback. Last year, Shepherd had 29 sacks as a team. They're going to have to get off to another hot start this year. Hopefully, Nathan Muley can be that guy that can really be that catalyst that can create that pressure up front and not allow that passing attack to get started and get into a rhythm for Frostburg. Also, on the offensive side of the ball, we talked about having a new offensive coordinator for Shepherd, just trying to get into a rhythm. I think one of the things that's going to be important is using that tight end. We talked about the young tight end out of Jefferson High School, Lanza. Big target down the middle. I think it's going to be important to get him involved in the game because that's going to make the job on the outside for those wide receivers that much easier. If you give that defense something to worry about in the middle of the field, those guys on the outside are going to be able to make some plays, and it's going to make it that much easier for the new quarterback for Shepherd to get settled into a rhythm where it's not all going to be on his shoulders to try to make plays. Use that run game, use his tight end, and that's going to set up those shots to the outside.
Our opening kickoff brought to you by the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations. Robert Fields and Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home, proudly serving the area since 1880. Travis, we're just about ready to get started. Anything else you got for us?
Looking over at Frostburg, keys for them. We've mentioned they have a lot of returners coming back, so chemistry is going to be on their side, and one of the ways that they can use that chemistry is to get off to an early start. If they're able to put some pressure on the Shepherd and try to get them out of that running game, it's going to be important for Frostburg to strike early, try to get that lead out, and take Shepherd out of the thing that they want to do coming into today's game. Also, it's going to be important for that Frostburg defense to win on first down. That's one of the best ways to get a team out of sticking with the run. If you put them in a lot of second and third and long situations, that's going to force their hand and force them to throw the ball. And once you make that offense one-dimensional, that's when your defense can really begin to make plays. And also, I think the biggest key in today's game, Frostburg. Let that big, nasty offensive line impose its will today. There is a huge size advantage up front in favor of that Frostburg offensive line. We know Shepherd, they like to go undersized, use athleticism and speed. But if those big uglies up front for Frostburg can get their hands on them, it's going to be a long day for that Shepherd defense.
So Shepherd is back deep to return this opening kickoff. Nick Jasir will take it. He's got a big hole and is tripped up around the 40-yard line, but a flag is down at the 40 as well. So Shepherd will probably go against them, and will.
And unfortunate because it looked like
first and 10.
Yeah, that flag was thrown late that play, so it looked like it was going to be a good return, but then getting penalized there at the last minute, so that's going to knock away that good field position that you're going to have. But it's the first game of the season. You're going to expect those type of miscues early on, so penalties could be a factor for either team in today's game.
So we'll see Michael Hardyway out there at quarterback for the first time this season as the Rams will start it at the 25-yard line, first down and 10. And Hardyway will hand it off here up the middle, and it's Jordan Barnett, and Barnett scampers his way forward across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it at the 33, so nice run there on first and 10, Travis.
At that time, and then nothing fancy. You know you want to get those big running backs running downhill. That's what they're going to be good at. They don't have those speedy guys in the backfield like they have in years past, so you run downhill, and it's going to give your quarterback a chance to possibly read that defensive end and pull it, and he can be the player that can attack you on the edge with his speed.
2nd down and 2. Hardaway play action pass, looking deep for a wide open Malachi Brown. He's across midfield inside the 45-yard line. Nice catch and run for Malachi as he was wide open over the middle.
And again, you open up the game with that big run play down the middle. That defense is now geared up to try to stop the run, and you come back with a nice play action pass. You get your quarterback out of the pocket, and again, he's able to go to the second level. He had Lanza underneath, but he wanted a little bit more. And again, you got the veteran Malachi Brown just doing a good job of finding that soft spot in the zone and able to catch that ball in stride.
Here they go, the Rams here, 1st and 10 in Frostburg territory at the 45. And they'll run it up the middle, and Barnett ends up getting a yard or 2, as initially it looked like he was going to be stuffed in the backfield. Good job, though, by the linebacker to come flying in there and make the tackle. It looked like Jalen Boyd in there, number 13.
And Barnett started the season injured. And in 10 games of action, very effective, averaged 5.5 yards a carry, had 5 touchdowns. Even though he's a big rumbler, still has the athleticism to make it a long run. If he has the opportunity, he had a long of 48 yards last year. So a big player, but still fast enough to hurt a defense if they don't respect it.
Hardaway looking to throw over the middle. There's Brown again. Malachi gets to the outside. He's out of bounds after picking up the 1st down. So great opening drive. Brown effective so far, Travis, and he looks comfortable out there, wide receiver, after taking a few seasons off and moving to running back.
And again, you have a versatile chess piece. So you have a new offensive coordinator coming in, and that's a very valuable player to have. He has experience making plays out of the backfield, has experience making plays as a wide. More in today's game of football, having those guys that are more hybrid as opposed to just being strictly one position.
Barnett gets some good blocks and makes positive yardage down to about the 26-yard line. Jordan Barnett getting some good running room there, and the Rams moving it on this opening drive. 12 minutes to go here in this first quarter. It'll be 2nd down, about 4, as they'll run over the middle, pass over the middle, incomplete. Roman Pearson, the intended wide receiver, had 1 catch a season ago, former Martinsburg product. I'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2.
And again, just a zone read action in the backfield, and the quarterback pulls it, tries to squeeze in a little pop pass, but again, linebackers did a good job of getting their hands up and making the quarterback go a little bit higher with that pass than he wanted to. Standout linebacker for the Bobcats, Jalen Boyd, a playmaker on that second level for the Bobcats. So certainly got to keep an eye on him. He had a pick 6 last year. He took it to the house for 80 yards. So he is a threat in the passing game as well.
Over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Jaden Ashby, the intended wide receiver. Over the middle, thought maybe the DB got there a little bit early, Travis.
It looked like he was there a little bit early, but the referees are going to let him play, and we've seen this here over the past couple of seasons that the referees not so quick to jump in on those pass interference plays, and Jaden Ashby has kind of a tie here to Frostburg. He transferred in from Southern Utah, where he played for head coach Delaney Fitzgerald. Delaney Fitzgerald was the head coach here at Frostburg for 8 seasons.
4th down for the Rams now. Grant Swinehart's the back to the left. Hardaway looking to throw underneath and deflected away. Turnover on downs. Great coverage on the play by Kamari Ramsey. And we'll bring up Frostburg here on the offensive end.
Ramsey, that nickel corner, played in 4 games last year, only had a couple of tackles, but he is a senior, so he's been in the program. He's familiar with what they're going to ask of him. And that time, Hardaway just a little bit slow getting that ball out. The wide receiver had a little bit of a lane to the inside, but that's what we talked about as far as that chemistry or lack thereof on that Shepherd side, because this is the first time they're out there. The live bullets are flying, and you're going to see that sometimes that lack of chemistry might come up in situations like that.
So Frostburg State running the football here on 1st down, and they get positive yardage across the 30-yard line. Looks like Smothers the back here on the opening drive, not Owen Doyle. So 2nd down here about 6.
And Smothers used more as a third down option last year, but getting the start here today. Had 8 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown last year, but that time getting it done on the ground with a big first down pickup.
Fulton in the gun. Shepherd shows blitz, and they bring blitz. Run off the left side. That one gets maybe a yard on the play. Rams all over at that time. Devin Harper in there leading the charge for Shepherd. One of the transfers at linebacker that Coach McCook hyped up. Third down already, 3rd and 6.
A bit of a journeyman, was at Albany last year, but his last action on the field was at Lackawanna Junior College, and we've seen quite a few of those players come through this Shepherd program and been solid contributors. Back in 2003, played 4 games for Lackawanna, had 20 tackles, 9 of those solo, 4.5 tackles for loss, including 2 sacks. So a very active defender when he is on the field.
Fulton looking to throw. Throws deep down the middle part of the field and in and out of the hands of the wide receiver. Gilliard, the intended man there. And if he catches that.
He's still running. That time just a good post. The defender was cooked on that play, but Gilliard not able to bring in that ball. The 6'2", 175-pound wide receiver. Senior, transfer over from Fairmont State.
So 4th and 5, and Frostburg State will be forced to punt. Instead of maybe a touchdown on the opening drive for Shepherd, it's a 3-and-out defensively. After a solid first drive for the Rams offensively, and on the punt, Shepherd will let it bounce, and it hit off a Ram and recovered at the 40-yard line by Frostburg State. Shepherd was going back. It was a shorter punt than they initially thought it was going to be. It hit off a Shepherd player. I thought maybe Ashby down there. I'm not exactly certain. But either way, it's a crucial mistake for the Rams, and that sets up Frostburg State on the Shepherd side of the field.
And again, if you can't kick it far, kick it weird.
Yeah.
So if that deep punt returner, he's got to call it out. He's got to communicate with his guys because they're coming down the field. They're not going to be able to look up and locate that ball. So the punt returner is going to have to be a little bit more active, a little bit more vocal, and pointing out where that ball is.
Play action pass right back down the middle of the field, and they got him this time. Gilliard into the end zone. Touchdown, Frostburg State.
Right now, it looked like there was a miscommunication between the corner and the safety. And that time, Batten beaten badly to the inside. And again, they saw that play on the last drive. They came right back to it. And Gilliard, you give him another chance at a pass like that, he's not going to drop it.
Yeah, that's tough. Out there on the outside for Shepherd, it was one of those situations where they had him on that exact same play just a moment ago, or at least a similar route. And Ennis got beat again. Extra point is up and good. Frostburg State 7, Shepherd nothing here. 10 minutes to go in this opening quarter. We're back in 1 minute. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at FordofHagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
Stadium, Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, 7-0 Frostburg State. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Jason Barrett, Senate Finance Chair. Jason Barrett, that is. As 7-0 our score. I'll give you a scoring drive summary here in just a moment, but 10:04 to go in this opening quarter, and Travis Gilliard wide open underneath right after the punt. leading to the 40-yard touchdown. So one play, 40 yards, that's your scoring drive.
And we talked about Shepherd limiting those big plays on special teams. That included having a muff punt. So you have that big play on special teams in favor of the Bobcats, and then they're able to immediately capitalize, taking that big strike down the field to Gilliard. And the Shepherd secondary, in particular those safeties, they have to do a better job of communicating with those corners, because when that post hits like that, it's usually because that safety is not in the position that they're supposed to be. So got to get that communication down a little bit better. But we knew that was going to be an issue coming into today's game, that the chemistry was going to be in favor of Frostburg, not so much with Shepherd, with having so many new faces being worked into the mix.
Rams here on the return. Nick and Zeezer getting outside and across the 40-yard line before he steps out of bounds. So another good kickoff return for Shepherd, Travis. This time no penalty, so it'll be good field position for the Rams.
And again, it's no time for Shepherd to abandon their game plan. We know that they have to run the ball. They were having success with Jordan Barnett. Stick with what works. Protect your quarterback. Let him get settled into the game. And then when you do have to pass, you'll have that added benefit of the play-action pass where you can move the quarterback out of the pocket and give him some easier throws so he can settle into a rhythm and get some confidence and timing down with this wide receiving core.
First quarter brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Get a Ford of Hagerstown.com as Hardyway runs up the middle, slides just short of the first down marker at around his own 49-yard line. So solid run there. As first quarter also brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance, Martinsburg, your total insurance solution, located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301. Call 304-263-3361. As Rams pick up 7 on that first scramble by Hardyway, the Bucknell transfer.
There we go. Swinehart checking in on that game. He tries to run it off the right side and gets stacked up by defensive end Christian Taylor. And not too often you see teams using a 4-man front, but that's something that Frostburg likes to employ. And they got some beef up front. They have some big guys in the middle. They have some very aggressive defensive ends on the edge where they have a little bit more experience out there on the edge. So going to be curious to see how that Shepherd offensive line matches up with that big, heavy 4-man front from the Bobcats.
3rd and 2 as Lanza heads in motion. Look for him initially, then throw it underneath to Batten. Batten's got the first down and more. Down to about the 36-yard line before he's thrown down by Frostburg State, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Rams. So another big throw over the middle. That's where Shepherd seems comfortable throwing the football with Hardyway.
And that's good. That's something we talked about in the pregame. That was something that was lacking from the Shepherd offensive passing attack last year, just threatening teams over the middle. Let's see if that opened things up on the outsides or possibly some deeper shots later in today's game.
1st and 10, 8:20 to go in this opening quarter. Here's a throw again. It's Batten, and he's thrown out of bounds around the 30-yard line. So another nice catch. This is Joshua McTeer in on that tackle.
Again, Shepherd using that stacked formation on the outside, and you really put pressure on the defense to try to decide who's going to cover who in what situation. And if you're able to make a quick throw like that, sometimes you can catch that defense in a moment of indecision and pick up some quick, easy yards.
Injury timeout. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 30.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows. Whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
In this first quarter, 7-0. Frostburg State leads Shepherd, but the Rams are driving. Here's Jordan Barnett up the middle. Barnett shaking off tacklers. He looks good early on. Down to about the 24-yard line goes Jordan Barnett.
Will Burns, in there on the tackle. The 5'9", 175-pound junior. Again, you see a lot of guys that were backups last year getting the opportunity to step up and be starters this year for Frostburg. So hats off to their program. We see so many teams lose so many guys in the transfer portal. So it's a testament to their program that they're able to keep those guys around even after they've, put in the hard work, being that reserve. Now they've earned that starting role and having a chance to show what they can do out here on game day.
Coming up on 7 minutes to go here in this first quarter, and a flag comes flying in as Shepherd trying to draw up a play-action pass. False start against Shepherd. So now come up 5 and bring up a 1st and 15.
And it still remains to be seen what type of offense that this Shepherd team is going to have, but when you're starting out behind the chains, that's going to put pressure on you. I don't care what kind of offense you have or how much confidence you have. If you're not able to get positive plays on first down, it really puts you behind the 8 ball for the rest of that series.
Early on, a lot of play action, a lot of running, but a lot of teams want to use the run to set up the pass. So, and Hardyway is sacked in the backfield, coming unblocked there for Frostburg State was Carter Mazalewski, the linebacker.
6'3", 240-pound redshirt sophomore from Mount Airy, Maryland. And that time, Frostburg not waiting around to see what happens. They sent the house on that play and able to get pressure right up the middle. Hardaway doing a good job of not turning that ball over, just eating the sack. And now the Shepherd offense really having a tough time being stuck behind the chains.
Yeah, 2nd down and 22 here for the Rams after the 5-yard penalty and the big sack there on 1st and 15. Here's a throw underneath. Jordan Barnett makes a leaping catch down to about the 30-yard line before he falls out of bounds. So Shepherd finds a way to get some of those yards back and make it a possibly manageable 3rd down, or at least put you possibly in 2-down territory depending on how you feel about your field goal unit. But I guess they're saying it was incomplete. So instead it's 3rd and 22.
And that's a tough pass for a running back to try to bring down. He's running full speed to the sidelines, and then he goes up with his back turned to the sidelines. A wide receiver, yes, that's still a difficult catch for a wide receiver, but that's tough for a running back to try to bring in a pass like that, running full speed to the sidelines, just trying to get 1 foot down.
Not a receiving back either.
No.
Barnett. 3rd and 22. Hardyway looking to throw and complete underneath. Hauling it in on that one again is Baden.
It gets it back almost to the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to be a turnover on downs.
It should be 4th down now, and they'll have the field goal unit run on. So, new kicker and Barta will run on and attempt this field goal from about 46 yards away. 47. This kick is up, and it's good.
Wow, that's a good kick. That's a tough way to
yards.
That's a tough way to start the season. But he was up to the task on that one, and Shepherd able to come away with some points on that one. And again, they got stalled out getting those penalties at that point in the drive, but still fortunate able to come away with some points.
Yeah, the penalty and the sack plays a big factor, but the Rams do get 3 with 5:20 to go in this opening quarter. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Emmett Surf Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? LawPBM.com.
What's up, everybody? Tyson Bajan here. The greatest asset for a professional quarterback is a receiver with good hands. At Next Level Auto Detailing, your vehicle is in good hands. We offer basic detailing packages, ceramic coatings, any restoration service for your vehicle, you name it, we do it. Call us at 703-786-6250 to take your vehicle to the next level. Let's go!
Frostburg State University, our score, 7 for Frostburg State, 3 for Shepherd here with 5:20 to go in this opening quarter, and the Rams will kick it away. Shepherd's had some solid drives. They're able to come away with 3 on the field goal there.
Like you mentioned, the first 2 drives, good job of moving the ball, but then they kind of hit a rough patch once they get a little bit deeper into Frostburg's territory. And on that last drive, a lot of those problems were self-inflicted. So if they can kind of get out of their own way, it looks like they're able to get some things going positively on. Oh! Big hit right there. Goodness gracious.
23 in there for Shepherd. I'm sorry, wrong roster.
DeMayo Hunter, the 6 foot, 190-pound freshman from Culpeper, Virginia, brought the wood on that play.
Yeah, that one is a nominee for a collision of the game.
Yes, indeed. I feel sorry if somebody gets hit harder than that today.
Yeah. By the way, for the Rams, a 9-play, 34-yard drive resulting in 3. Flag comes flying in. Rams are going to get caught there. Scoring drive summaries brought to you by Senate Finance Chair Jason Barrett. Once again, 9 plays, 34 yards, resulting in the field goal.
You're good.
So first down and 5 here with 5:16 to go. Big hit from Hunter just a moment ago. First and 5 from the 25.
You're a freshman on the football team. You want to make a name for yourself. Go out there and blow somebody up on special teams. Those coaches will remember your name.
Here's a run to the outside and a tackle.
Good tackle.
Good tackle in space.
Batten coming up. Good job. May not be the biggest guy on the field, but certainly a short-handed tackler, the 5'10", 185-pound grad student. That time, that Shepherd defensive front not able to keep contained, but luckily they got a savvy corner out there that comes up tough on the run and able to limit what could have been a very big gain on that play.
So Smothers remains the back. Doyle may be dealing with an injury. I haven't seen him to this point. Folding in the gun here on second down. Looking to throw under some heat.
Low pressure.
Steps up and gains a few positive yards, but the Rams hold him from going too far.
Looks like Vince Fluke was in on that play for the Rams. The 6'5", 225-pound redshirt junior out of Middletown, Maryland. Just did a good job really getting pressure up on the sides. The quarterback did a good job of stepping up in the pocket. But great pursuit that time by that Rams defensive front, and that's something that's going to be critical for them today. Really cannot afford to let Fulton sit back there and pick apart that secondary. He's already had some early success with that big touchdown pass.
Third down here, a run up the middle, and the Rams stuffed them enough initially, but Smothers just kept fighting. Gets it across to the 36-yard line before he's tackled on the play.
And Smothers, he's a bowling ball, 5'9", 200 pounds. So it's going to take more than a stiff breeze to knock him down. And that time, a lot of arm tackles, guys just trying to throw a shoulder into him. You're going to have to hit and drive him into the turf because like we just saw in that play, he's going to be able to get yards after contact.
7-3 Frostburg State leads Shepherd with 3:25 to go in this first quarter. Fulton in the gun. Receiver in motion. Here's another run fooled me on the play action. Fulton slides down about the 38-yard line. Groves came over and made the tackle. Good fake. Got me up here.
Yeah, I was saying that was a smooth play fake, and Miles Fulton, he can do it all. The 6'4", 210-pound redshirt junior certainly passes the eye test, coming off of a very good season last year. Threw for over 2,000 yards, had 23 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. Also averaged 4.3 yards per carry last year, over 200 yards rushing. So he is a dual threat if the opportunity arises.
Gain of 4 on the play to the 39. Play action pass. Fulton looks over the middle, tipped away. There's Groves again. Joseph Groves making a tackle and then making a play in coverage. Coach McCook, of all the linebacker transfers and graduations, he's the one real returner, and he's made his presence felt on these last 2 plays.
Yep, he appeared in 10 games last year. He had 14 tackles, 4 of those solo. Also had a fumble recovery, and that time showing that he has the ability to make plays in space, and a good job of getting your hands up. You know the ball's coming out quick. Get your hands up. You might get lucky, and that time Groves did just that.
So 3rd and 6 here from the 39-yard line of Frostburg State. Fulton looking to throw. He's got time, throws over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of the wide receiver, Trayshawn Timmons.
And Timmons, he's one of their best returners from last year in that wide receiving core. Had 35 catches for 656 yards last year, 5 touchdowns, and was a 2024 honorable mention All Mountain East Conference. So he is a good player, but that time had plenty of time to throw and catch that ball, but a couple of miscues early on has cost Frostburg some big plays.
Cordell Batten back deep for the Rams as they wait the punt. And Batten will throw up a fair catch and make the catch at the 30-yard line. That's where the Shepherd offense will take over.
And again, Shepherd having an opportunity to set up in good field position. Let's see if they try to get back to that ground game. Barnett has done a good job getting a good clip with each and every one of his runs, and certainly see early on the Shepherd wants to get into their play-action passing game, and no better way to do that than to go ahead and run behind that big offensive line and let Barnett wear down that defensive front. Good size up front for Frostburg, but not a lot of experience.
First down and 10 from the 30. Rams started with a run. Get about a yard on the play. We'll bring up 2nd and 9.
And I know Shepherd likes that zone running scheme and trying to running off the edge. Just Swinehart and Barnett, they're not those type of guys. They are more downhill, one cut, and getting where you got to go. When you stretch them out, I think that plays more in favor of the defense because they are a quick unit, and they do a good job of pursuing to the football.
2nd and 9 or 8 here for the Rams. 1:45 to go. Hardaway looking to throw. Throws it underneath. Guys, Malachi Brown, and Brown picks up, that's Batten there, has the first down.
There we go. But those were the two crossers, Brown and Batten working across the middle. And you make the defense have to make a split-second decision. And if they hesitate, there you go. You got a wide-open pass. And something's going on with the snaps here so far. When Hardaway's been back in that shotgun formation, he's had to stoop down even lower to get that ball, and that's just throwing the timing off just a little bit. Somebody's got quarterbacks, talk to your center. Let them know if that snap's not getting where it needs to be.
On this run from Jordan Barnett, it goes nowhere. Great job by the Frostburg defense to stack it up. Big number 99, Daquan Stevenson, making his presence felt here. 2nd down and 10 for the Rams from the 41. By the way, wide receivers coach for Frostburg State, the former Berkeley Springs head coach, Matt Puffenberger. He's been there for 9 years, and he used to coach our very own Colin McLaughlin and Dylan Bishop back in the day. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Not at wide receiver, though.
So he certainly had to earn his paycheck if he's coaching those guys.
On the carry there, Hardaway, no room, no gain on the play. Great job by the Frostburg defense.
And again, the Shepherd O-line, they're having difficulty getting a push up front. We thought that was going to be the strength, and the line is still very well may be the strength of that offense, but running, not getting a big push up front. And again, not too often nowadays that you see teams running that base 4-man front, but Frostburg runs it as well as you're going to see.
So, 3rd down and 10 from the 41. And at the end of 1, it's 7-3 Frostburg State. We'll be back here in about 1 minute. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Friends of Recovery is a local nonprofit that provides assistance to individuals in our community who are in the process of reestablishing their lives after active addiction or incarceration. Thanks to the generosity and support of so many in our community, the Friends of Recovery Committee has seen great success in benefiting the participants of the Berkeley County Community Corrections and Recovery Service programs. They are excited to announce that their 3rd annual fundraiser event is coming up on Saturday, October the 11th at 5:30 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Martinsburg. Please join them for an evening of inspiring testimonies, dinner, and silent and live auction items. For more information, you can send an email to friendsofrecovery2023@gmail.com. Once again, that's friendsofrecovery2023@gmail.com. Also, you can find them on Facebook at Friends of Recovery Berkeley County WV.
To get started between Shepherd and Frostburg State. It's a 3rd down and 10 here for the Rams. From the 41-yard line, it's a tough situation here, Travis. We haven't really seen too many big passing plays. A lot of them have been catch and runs over the middle, so see what they can do here on 3rd and 10 because probably have to get to the sticks through the air. Shepard at the 41. Hardaway takes the snap, straight drop back. Fires far side, a little bit high and incomplete.
And you see the Shepard offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback a little bit by allowing him only to work one half of the field. You had that trips look to the wide side of the field. It was closed on the back end with the tight end staying in for maximum protection. So he had a little bit of time, but that time just the pass sailed on him. And it would have been short. You still would have needed the wide receiver to make a play, but so far a couple of these passes have sailed high. What you don't want to do is sell your wide receiver out when he's going over the middle because you know those free safeties are lurking.
Pass intended for Ashby, by the way. Here on the punt, Shepard will punt, and it looks like Frostburg a little bit frustrated. They didn't seem to be in the right formation, so they burn a timeout. We'll take a 30-second break as well. 7-3 Frostburg State, second quarter.
When it comes to surgery, experience and innovation matter. At WVU Medicine, our board-certified surgeons use the latest robotic and minimally invasive techniques to provide better outcomes and faster recoveries. We offer a full range of procedures including advanced hernia repair, anti-reflux surgery, breast cancer surgery, colon resection, gallbladder removal, skin cancer, and lesion removal. Trust the region's leader in advanced surgical care. Call WVU Medicine Surgery today at 304-596-2150.
Some views that are a little bit tough to see. I don't know if my sunglasses will help. Oh, yeah, it does.
Helps.
Yeah. We're back. Just talking about the sun here at Frostburg State. Is it?
We're sitting like right up on top of the mountain, so we're like eye level with the sun. Get one of those welder's masks while we're up here calling a game.
And the sunglasses do their job, in case you're wondering. Alexander to punt it away. Gilliard back deep for Frostburg State. Alexander boots this one inside the 10. Oh, my gosh. Well, they lost Ryan Barrick, but they still got a weapon at punter, apparently. Alexander with a great punt all the way down to about the 6 or 7 yard line.
Deshaun Alexander, bigger than most of the defensive linemen that Shepard has. Yeah, he's 6'3", 245 pounds. So he was able to put the boom on the ball that time and had a good bounce. And Shepard almost lucked out on that play. It almost bounced off the punt returner, but I'm sure the Shepard defense will settle with some really good field position. So, again, you know you're going to have a nip-and-tuck game. You're going to go ahead and have to play that field position battle. Right now the Shepard defense has a chance to really get a foothold and stop this Bobcat offense deep in their own territory.
So, pinned back here is Frostburg State. What can they do here offensively? It smothers the back, pushing his way forward. Out to about the 14-yard line. So a nice run there on first down.
And that's something that is certainly to the advantage of Frostburg State, is running behind that big offensive line, trying to wear down that Shepard front. We know Shepard likes to use speed and athleticism up front, but not so much size. Early on in the game, it could be in their favor, but later on, as this game wears on more and more, if Frostburg sticks with that run, you can start to see that running game start to pay dividends down the stretch. And now it looks like Doyle has checked
Doyle
into
is
the game.
Back.
The 5'11", 200-pound redshirt junior was their bell cow last year, had 660 yards and 9 touchdowns last season.
And Doyle's got a big hole here. Good job, though, by the corner on the outside, Ennis, to break off of his block and make the tackle in space. So Will Ennis with a good tackle there in space, because it looked like it could be trouble there. And we didn't see Doyle in that first quarter, not certain why, but out there now and running well. Smothers, though, did a nice job as well, so they seem to have a nice 1-2 punch.
Absolutely.
First down and 10 here for Frostburg State as they've moved it out to about the 20-yard line. Receiver goes in motion. Folden looking to throw, dumps it down to Doyle underneath, and Doyle is stopped by Harper about the 24-yard line.
And Doyle not so much catching the ball out of the backfield. He did have some catches last year. 8 catches for 75 yards, but definitely more of a downhill thumper like we mentioned. Had 660 yards last year running the ball, 5 yards per carry. So he's a guy that can certainly be the tone setter for that offense. And now Frostburg getting creative, splitting Doyle out at the wide receiver position. So empty backfield, different look for this Bobcats offense.
Just a 3-yard completion there on that previous pass. Brings up a 2nd and 7 Frostburg State. Rams show blitz. It's a QB draw with Fulton. Fulton powers his way across the 25 to about the 27-yard line before he's tackled on the play.
That time Batten coming up. Again, not shy to stick his face in the fan, so to speak. And
Never has been.
Yeah. He comes up hard on the outside.
So third down here in about 4 after a 3-yard carry. About 12 minutes to go in this first half. It's 7-3 Frostburg State.
And again, Miles Fulton, he's the full package, a good passer, mobile, get out of the pocket, good size.
Fulton adjusting things at the line of scrimmage and now looking to throw here on third down. Has some room to run. Fulton's got across the first down marker as he dived forward right at the sticks, and that'll move the chains for Frostburg State on a 3rd and 4.
And Ennis that time coming up. Tried to get a big shot in on the quarterback, but Fulton was just slippery enough to get past him to pick up the first down.
And good runner of the football there is the quarterback, Miles Fulton. As you mentioned earlier, Travis, guy that can do it all. At 6'4", definitely very solid quarterback for this Frostburg State team. First down and 10, 11-13 to go. Here's Doyle with a nice hole, and Doyle scampers forward for a few, up to about the 38, 39-yard line. Bring up second down.
Just a good, patient run that time by the veteran running back. The redshirt junior looked like it was jammed up there at the beginning, but just that little bit of hesitation in the backfield, and the hole was able to open up, and he was able to get it in between the tackles. That's where he's going to make most of his progress, is pounding that defense right in the middle.
6-yard carry makes it second down and 4 for the Bobcats here at Bobcats Stadium in Frostburg, Maryland. Fulton looking to throw. Throws on a wide receiver screen. Corner missed the tackle, and Gilliard's off to the races inside Shepherd territory before he runs out of bounds. Rams just completely whiffed on that tackle on the outside, and Gilliard has clearly been an issue for Shepherd today.
And not too often, we talked about Batten being tough against the run. You don't see him whiff too often, but you see in that Shepherd secondary, they're having to show respect to the speed on the outside because they've already been beat deep several times today. So showing that respect, and Frostburg doing a good job of taking what the defense is giving them and letting Gilliard make some plays with the run after the catch.
Second quarter. Here brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road. As here's Doyle running the football. A good tackle. There's Batten again coming up from the corner's position. Actually, it might have been G.O.D. Tolbert in there, 6 instead of 5. But either way, it's a DB making a nice tackle after a short run. Second quarter again brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, 1400 Shepherdstown Road, and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons, as well as Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, your total insurance solution, located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301 in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-3361. Second and 8 after a 2-yard carry. Here's Doyle again. This time, no room in on that run. Great job by the Shepherd defense.
Again, this Rams defense doing a good job of bending but not breaking. They know they have a size deficit up front. But again, they're able to make up for it with just their pursuit and tenacity. And that time coming up strong, but something that they may want to keep an eye on as you see that quarterback carrying out that fake to the outside. That offensive coordinator sees that defensive end is crashing down a little bit too quick. Don't be surprised if Fulton pulls that ball himself and goes for a big play on the outside.
Wimberly in on that tackle for Shepherd. Third down and 7. Fulton looking to throw. Fluke trying to get some pressure on him. Now Fulton jump pass to a wide open man inside the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Frostburg State, hauling that one in. For Frostburg was Ray Adamas, the former Musselman wide receiver.
And the corner, the guilty party on that play, Snowden making the cardinal mistake But what you don't do as a defensive back, stop peeking in the backfield. When you have those plays where the timing's thrown off a little bit and it's not going quite as scheduled, the quarterback lost track of the wide receiver, peeking in the backfield, and that time Fulton able to take advantage of that mistake, and again, bombing it over the top, and again, big passing plays have been the difference so far in today's contest.
Adamas not a part of the two deep, but we've seen some drops out there of wide receivers, so the young guy get an opportunity, and he finds his way into the end zone. We'll go ahead and take a 1-minute break. Our score 14-3, Frostburg State, with 8:12 to go here in this first half.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. We have been challenged to sell 20 new and used vehicles each and every day for the rest of the year. This means you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the largest Ford store on the I-81 corridor, ranked among the top dealerships in the country in sales volume and customer satisfaction. If you are even thinking about buying a new car, now is the time. Visit HagerstownFord.com and choose your new ride, and we will bring it to you. You will sign all the documents from your phone and skip that awful finance process that consumes your entire day in the dealership. Let's recap. Hagerstown Ford must sell 20 vehicles a day. You will sign all the documents from your phone on your time. We will bring your new ride to you, and you're done. It's that easy. If you don't like it, return it. Our return policy is better than Walmart, and our buying experience is better than Amazon. And you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the #1 Ford store from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. Now, we want to be the #1 Ford store in the nation.
Hagerstown Ford, right off Interstate 81, across from the Valley Mall.
We're back here. Frostburg State, 14-3. Frostburg leads Shepherd with 8:12 to go in this first half. Another wide-open receiver deep down the field. Ray Adamas hauls it in for Frostburg to make it 14-3. And Travis, some holes in the secondary. Outside of that, Shepherd's looked pretty good defensively. They've had some nice drives, but they've stalled out. There's definitely some potential, though, with this team.
And again, we figured that was going to be one of the strengths of that Rams defense was going to be the secondary, because they had some veteran players returning. But so far, we've seen some big miscommunications.
Just never went out of bounds, and they had to pick it up. It looked like for certain it was going to bounce out, but it just stayed in the field of play, and smartly they pick it up to Shepherd, but nearly doesn't work out at all for the Rams.
A tall task for this Rams offense to kind of dig out of that hole. But like we were mentioning on the defensive side of the ball, we figured that was where most of the experience was going to be returning, with Gilda Tolbert and Batten back there. That was going to be one of the strengths. But so far, miscommunications on the back end have really spelled trouble for that Rams defense. So they're going to have to get that figured out here soon, because Frostburg, they smell blood in the water. They're going to keep attacking until that Shepherd defense is able to make that correction.
So we'll see what Michael Hardaway and the Ram offense can do here. It's Jordan Barnett rumbling his way forward.
Good run.
And a nice run. Out to about the 16-yard line goes Jordan Barnett. So a gain of 6 on the play, bring up 2nd and 4.
And the runs that Shepherd has had their success on, it hasn't been so much in between the tackles. It's been in between the guards. They're doing a good job of attacking the A-gaps with their run game, and that's something you want to do. You want to go against that 4-man front. That's where that hole's going to be. You want to try to attack that middle linebacker spot, and that's where Shepherd has had their most success so far running the ball today.
So 2nd and 4 here from the 16. Hardaway throws complete, wide open wide receiver. There's Ashby. Now it's about the 35-yard line. Jaden Ashby in this Ram offense working over the middle once again.
And quarterbacks, talk to your center. That's been an issue. Every time he's gone back and a little bit deeper in that shotgun, he's had to reach down by his shins to get that ball, and that just throws off the timing. When you have these quick passes where you want the ball out of quarterback's hands, if he's having to try to dig the ball out of the turf, that's going to throw off that timing. When they line up in the pistol like they are now, not so much problems. When they line up in the shotgun, that's where they've had some issues with getting a clean snap.
Hardaway, wide open blitzer, gets rid of it in time before taking a sack almost on that play. Just came off the edge untouched. So bring up a 2nd and 10 here from the 35 for Shepherd after the incomplete pass. Receiver in the area there in Batten
So, because the discussion might have went a couple of ways is, did he get the ball back to the line of scrimmage?
Right.
And was it close enough to the wide receiver? And that time able to avoid getting the penalty on first down, but now you're 2nd and 10, and that's tough to get out of.
Batten goes in motion here, 6:46 to go in this first half. Hardyway looking to throw again over the middle and complete again for a first down. There's Cordell Batten once again. Shepherd working the middle of the field, and again it's successful.
And again, it started with a clean snap. He didn't have to bend down to get it. He caught the ball, was able to get it out on time. And the most important thing I saw on that play, Hardaway, he did not have happy feet on that play. That's something that we've seen early on in this game where he really hasn't been settled with his throws, and that's why you've seen some of his throws sailing. Now you're starting to see him settle down, step up into his throws, and when he gets that snap on time, the ball can come out on time, and it's accurate.
So here's Barnett up the middle. No room this time around for the Ram back. As it looks like Halveland came up and make the tackle there for Frostburg State.
Haviland, the 6', 220-pound senior from Waterford, Virginia, played his high school ball at Tuscarora.
So no gain on the play. 5:40 to go in this first half. 14-3 Frostburg State in the second quarter. Hardaway, play action pass, looking underneath, finds his man for a completion. I believe that's Buskey in on the reception.
Mason
Miller.
Coming up, and he's listed as a linebacker, but you can always change in those linebackers for fullbacks any old time you want. A lot of those guys pulled double duty when they were in high school, so not a big stretch to get them to step over on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Miller filling that Michael McCook type role.
There you go.
For the Rams. Third down for the Rams. 3rd and 8. Hardaway looking to throw, and nice dive back catch by Malachi Brown for a first down.
And you could just see him, he's starting to breathe a little bit easier now. Hardaway starting to settle down. Again, he did play some when he was at Bucknell, but not a lot. He appeared in 6 games last year, only had 1 start. So again, he's even though he's a veteran, he's a grad student, still not a lot of playing time. And you got to take those lumps and grow no matter what. You got to get out there on the field and get that playing time.
4:34 to go, first down and 10, and Jordan Barnett shedding off tacklers, gets down to about the 38-yard line.
That time,
4:13 to go in this
William
first half.
King in on that tackle, the 6'3", 280-pound redshirt sophomore. And again, there is no lacking of size up front for Frostburg. They can go too deep and keep rotating in these big bodies. So you certainly see the size profile that they're looking for when they're recruiting, and that is certainly going to help them as they step up in competition this year and start taking on some PSAC teams.
So second down here. Hardaway looking for Malachi Brown, but it is incomplete.
And that time, Kamari Ramsey giving some pressure off the edge, and you see Frostburg, their approach, very simple. They want to hit the quarterback. They want to make sure Hardaway knows that they are coming each and every play, and they're trying to speed up that clock in their head. They know that they have a young, not so much a young quarterback, but an inexperienced quarterback back there, and they want to try to make it as difficult on him as possible. He's on the road, hostile environment, and we're going to send some heat after you to try to make you get rid of that ball and possibly force you into some bad decisions.
Got a timeout here at 3:42 to go. 14-3, Frostburg State leads. Shepherd will take a 30-second break.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
To Frostburg State, I should say, University. They lead Shepherd here 14-3 with 3:42 to go in this second quarter. Nick Verzolino alongside me, Travis Smith. Shepherd hoping to get things going on this third down. It's a 3rd and 7 for the Rams from the 38-yard line of Frostburg State, trying to find their way into the end zone for the first time in 2025.
So an important drive for this Rams offense. Don't want to fall far behind where they're going to have to try to think about abandoning that run game. They want to stay close and picked off underneath.
Yeah. And that's going to be a big return on the interception by Frostburg State, as going all the way. And Carter Mazalewski again making a big play.
The 6'3", 240-pound linebacker just did a good job of stepping underneath of that quick slant. Again, as a quarterback, you have to be aware of where those linebackers are if you're doing those quick passes underneath, because those linebackers can wreak havoc. And that time, Mazalowski was able to make that happen on that play. And again, did a good job stepping right in front of that pass. And after that, it was nothing but green acres in front of him. He was able to take it all the way to the house. And again, this Frostburg team pressing their advantage early on. We knew that they were going to have the chemistry. They had more returners coming back, and they needed a fast start, and they've been able to do that so far today.
20-3 with the extra point, up and no good. So the Rams get a little bit of a break there after the pick six, but 20-3, Frostburg State. Carter Mazalewski with the pick six. 3:27 left here in this first half. We're back in 1 minute.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
20-3 our score here. 3:27 to go in this first half, as the extra point no good between Shepherd and Frostburg State, but a pick six nonetheless for Mazalowski. Scoring plays brought to you by Jason Barrett, State Senate Chair. We'll see if the Rams can get something going as Hardyway throws his first pick of the game, and as a Ram, Nickens-Zazier again here on the kick return, and Nickens-Zazier making another nice return, as again, special teams just the strength of this team year in and year out, it seems like. I'm always wondering when we'll come and we'll find out that special teams coordinator Luke Wright's got a head coaching job.
Somebody's looking. I mean, he certainly has a lot of tape to give to teams that are potentially looking to make that move. And again, like you said, a different cast of characters seemingly every year, but the results seem to be the same. Explosive plays on special teams.
We've seen some good returns from Nickens-Zazier. We saw a monster punt from Alexander earlier. Kicker made a nice field goal as well. If anything's been a negative, it's maybe been some of the field goal game for Shepherd over the years. As Hardyway will run it with Swinehart. Finally see a little bit of Grant Swinehart in this game. It's been a big dose of Jordan Barnett, and Swinehart gets a nice run there, bring up about 2nd and 2.
And just a strong run up the middle, and Shepherd just stick. You got to stick with the run. I don't think the passing game is where it's at, where you can rely on it solely.
Swinehart breaks this one down the sideline into Bobcat territory before he's brought down around the 29-yard line of Frostburg State. So you bring a little bit of a change of pace back and Grant Swinehart into the game, and it works well. Jordan Barnett trots back onto the field. Shepherd moving the ball quickly back into Frostburg territory, but this is where they've lived, in between the 40 and the 25, and not really getting into the red zone so far today.
Getting bogged down with penalties or sacks. And again, nothing fancy, just a 8-gap power on those past 2 plays, but able to pick up chunks on each of them.
Full Barnett, feed Barnett, I should say, here once again, and Frostburg State defense ready for it there. Looks like McTier, in on that one.
And a lot of beef with those defensive tackles on that Frostburg State defensive front. You got Daquan Stevenson at 6'1", 285 pounds. You also have Dom Tiaga, 6 foot, 285 pounds. So you got some beefy guys there in the middle that can clog things up when they need to.
Timeout here at the 2-minute warning. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. 20-3, Frostburg State.
Emmett Surf Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? lawpbm.com.
Here at Bobcats Stadium in the 2-minute warning, 20-3. Frostburg State leads Shepherd. McPherson leaning alongside me, Travis Smith. Travis, Shepherd moving the ball here on the ground a little bit, but passing situation, I guess you could say, on 2nd and 8. But we'll see what they go to.
You're having success running the ball.
Yeah.
You want to try to chop it down because you don't want to be in a 3rd and long situation. So, again, even if you just pick up 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that's going to put you in a much more manageable 3rd and short situation where you have the option where you could possibly run or go for the pass, and you're not going to play into the defense's hands where you're going to be in a more of a one-dimensional type of approach for a 3rd and long.
You don't want to go into halftime down 17, that's for sure. So
they need points. Absolutely.
See if the Rams can get something going here offensively, and they found a little bit with the running game, but here's a play action. Hardaway looking toward the end zone, and incomplete. Pass intended for, I believe, Malachi Brown. He looks a little bit frustrated on that one.
That looked like that play was kind of messed up from the snap there. Like it was a play action fake to that time. Yeah. The running back went the wrong way, or the quarterback turned the wrong way, and then he had that awkward spin where he was trying to throw the ball deep to the other side of the field. I don't know if Hardaway has that type of juice with his throws, but that time it kind of tailed off at the end, and the wide receiver not able to plant cleanly and come back and make that catch. But again, facing a 3rd and long and a certain passing situation.
Hardaway looking to throw a big hit over the middle. We didn't think we'd have another nominee for collision of the game, but we just did. Cordell Batten, the intended receiver.
Herrick at that free safety spot, one of the returners on that defensive side of the ball, one of the better safeties you're going to find. 2nd team all MAC last year, 58 tackles, 39 solo, had 5 pass breakups. Certainly had a doozy that time.
Well, Barta will try here from 44 yards, and the kick is up. It is good. So another field goal good from 40-plus for Barta. That makes it 20-6 here with 1:47 left. We're back in 1 minute.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Get ready to rumble! In this corner, weighing in at 7 ounces, Rock's Delicious Chicken Sandwich. In quarter number 2, a 1/4 pound Rock's Delicious Burger. Who's the best? You decide.
We brought the beach to you. Get Rock's Crab Cake Sandwich with 70% real crab meat.
Be with us, Dylan Bishop, as well as Kyler High, our on-site crew, and back in the studio, Kyle McLaughlin, who you'll hear from at halftime at the halftime scoreboard show. Frostburg State will return it from inside the 4-yard line and get out to about the 25, and that's where they'll take back over. So far, Travis, the defense has shown some strong things, but also have given up some big plays. Quarterback Miles Fulton looks comfortable in this offense as expected.
And that was going to be critical for Shepherd. They've done a good job from time to time, able to get pressure and flush him out of the pocket. That hasn't been the issue. The coverage has broken down on the back end where there's a miscommunication between your corners and your safeties. And like we mentioned, the quarterback, Fulton, a veteran signal caller, so he's able to pick up on those miscues and does a good job of making plays off script and finding those wide open wide receivers downfield. So Shepherd, they're going to have to do a better job of getting pressure on the quarterback and getting home. They're going to get him down on the turf, but again, easier said than done. This is a group that only gave up 15 sacks all last year.
New running back on for Frostburg State. It's coming in Landon Alexander. So Shepherd burns a timeout, trying to get the football back here before halftime. Down 14 right now. If you can get a 3-and-out, you should get decent field position. Could at least possibly get in barter range, which appears to be pretty good, which is a positive for Shepherd.
Yeah, there you go.
So we'll see here what the defense can do. I mean, we've seen, like we said, some good things early. We've kept a lot of plays in front of them with the run, but some big plays through the air. Ray Adamas touchdown earlier. Shout out to the Musselman Appleman product. A lot of EPAC players on this Frostburg State roster. Adamas, one of the names that has made a play, but guys like Dylan Herrick, who is the Jefferson quarterback last year, he's on the roster as a safety. Just kind of go down and look. You can find all sorts of guys that you may be familiar with. So.
Yeah. Rodrigo Delgado.
Yep, Rodrigo Delgado, the former Washington and Jefferson player. So, just a few there, but there's a bunch.
And again, it's always fun
Brett
to
Pedersen
see
from Hedgesville.
Yeah, it's always fun to see these guys, continue.
I'm sorry, that's Brett Patterson. That's not Brett Pedersen.
Always fun to see these guys continuing their career at the next level and continuing to have success.
2nd down and 8, run up the middle, and there goes Alexander again. So 3-headed monster, it appears, for Frostburg State with a bunch of different backs. And now you wonder how aggressive they'll start to become here. I mean, clock stops on a 1st down.
And again, you certainly see the size profile that they're looking for out of their running backs. Alexander, 6'1", 200-pound junior out of Aliquippa, PA. And then you look at the two starters that they went with early on. Doyle, 5'11", 200 pounds. KJ Smothers, 5'9", 200 pounds. So they want short, stocky guys. And when you got a big offensive line in front, that's a tough task for those defenders, trying to, one, locate that running back, hiding behind those big offensive lines, and then trying to deal with all that force and that low center of gravity.
Play action pass looking deep down the middle of the field, but well overthrown there. Intended for Timmons.
Timmons, again, able to get behind the defense. That's something that's kind of been surprising, is that Frostburg has done a good job of just being able to get behind even the deepest defender. So something's going on. Again, you're worried about that run game, but those defenders in the secondary, you cannot peek in the backfield. You have to play your pass responsibility first, or you're going to give up those big plays over the top. And again, Miles Fulton has just been feasting on that Shepherd secondary because those guys are peeking in the backfield, and when the play's a little bit off schedule, that's when those problems become even that much more worse.
2nd and 10 from the 42. Alexander bouncing to the outside. Nice run here. 1st down and more.
Yeah, that's bouncing with power. He presses the hole, pulls that defense inside, and that's when those offensive linemen are able to get their hands on those linebackers, and then he has the speed and athleticism to bounce it outside, and there's nobody out there waiting for him.
Looks like Nathan Muley ran him down for Shepherd. Under 50 seconds left here in this first half. Frostburg back on the ball. 1st down and 10 from the 46 of Shepherd. Quick pass complete for a 1st down for Frostburg. Nice pass underneath there as they continue to move the football. This Frostburg State.
Again, just smooth.
Gilliard again.
Yeah, just smooth and methodical on the offensive side of the ball. Just on schedule, doing the things that they want to do. And again, they're staying ahead of the chains. We talked about the problems that Shepherd has had with miscues and false starts and penalties, putting them behind the chains. Just the opposite story for Frostburg. They're getting nice chunks on first down. It may not be big gains, but if you can get 3 or 4 on first down, you're sitting pretty at 2nd and 6, and that way the whole playbook's open where you can run or pass, and really puts a lot of pressure on that defense. But right now, Frostburg looking really comfortable. We knew that chemistry was going to be something that was going to be heavily in the favor in their game because they have so many returners at key positions coming back this year.
And Travis, you mentioned some of these methodical type drives here for Frostburg. A lot of them have been capped off, though, by big plays. We haven't seen long drives leading to touchdowns inside the 5 or anything like that. It's been those long touchdowns after some kind of dink and dunk or some run plays, maybe to put the defense to sleep a little bit before you hit them over the top. So we'll see if Shepherd can stop them here. 1st and 10 from the 35. 36 seconds to go in this first half. Fulton, straight drop, spins out. Might be a holding call against Shepherd. Fulton will just pull it down and run out of bounds, but this is coming back. So,
and that time again, you have those off-schedule plays, and that time it looked like Keely Davis was the player that got held for Shepherd on that left side, and you have a quarterback that makes plays, and that's going to be the drawback when you have a quarterback that has that type of athleticism that can get outside the quarterback, get outside the pocket, and make some plays. Is sometimes you're going to get some holding penalties because
hands to the face.
Oh, wow.
Against the defense.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You see his jersey is still kind of pulled off to one side. So I'm explain that.
I don't know. I didn't have the angle of the hands to the face, but I definitely saw the hold. So.
I'm at a bare minimum, it should have been offsetting.
Yeah.
Because that was clearly a hold. You can see his jersey still messed up.
But it works to Frostburg State's advantage here now, 1st and 10. And I think it's our first red zone possession of the day for either team with 28 seconds in a 20-6 game. Didn't really expect to be saying that. Fulton with a long snap here, and he'll take the snap under some pressure. Screen pass underneath. It's Alexander. Has some room to run. Gets down to about the 10-yard line. Clock would continue to roll as he did not get out of bounds. 16 seconds. They do have a timeout, but they haven't called it yet. Back on the ball, and Frostburg will spike it with 9 seconds. So decent clock management maybe because you still have a timeout. You still got time for about 2 more plays, which is probably what you would have had either way, but yeah. I don't know.
It was risky.
It was risky.
It was risky.
Maybe you could have saved a little bit more time, but then you don't have any timeouts in case you get sacked or something like that. So you understand it there while you go to the spike. But they haven't given the home cooking spike either. It's an 8-second clock. I thought he got it off of 9. So 8 seconds here. Still time for about 2 plays from the 10-yard line. Fulton looking to throw toward the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Weird angle for us up here. Gilliard, the intended receiver.
And the wide receiver underneath did a good job. He knew the ball wasn't coming to him, but he knew what he had to do. He had to try to pull that outside corner down. That was Cruz Paul Umstead, number 11, the 5'10", 175-pound wide receiver. Did a good job running that quick out towards that front pylon, pulled the defender down, and that's why Fulton tried to go for that back corner, but just a little bit too strong. And
Harrison Fritz will.
But there's going to be a timeout on the field.
Timeout for Shepherd to try to
put a little bit of ice on it.
Ice the kicker on this short kick, and we'll see if Fritz can knock it through here. 20-6, our score. Frostburg leads Shepherd heading into halftime. So if he makes this kick, it's still a 17-point game, and Frostburg gets the possession. So overall, you'll take that drive if you're the Bobcats.
And again, we talked about that size difference up front. So when you're out there on the field that long and having this type of drive, because it wasn't all passing to get down there, they pounded them and ran the ball. So it was like a long, sustained drive, and that defense has been out there a lot of snaps, and you're going to start to see that running game pay more dividends here in the second quarter just because that offensive line was able to impose their will in such a way in the first half.
27-yard field goal, and it's blocked by the Rams. Shepherd will have a chance here. It looks like G.O.D. Tolbert's got it.
He's got a blocker.
And he's going to take it back all the way for a Ram touchdown.
Good timeout for Shepherd. They dialed up a miracle with that timeout call, and that's something that Rams team desperately needed, and that was just a worst-case scenario for Frostburg. They had the chance to really take a commanding lead in this game, and a huge special teams play that time by the Rams. Again, we special team. We might have talked that man into a job there, Nick, because he's coaching his butt off today.
Luke Wright comes through for the Rams again. G.O.D. Tolbert with the run back for a touchdown on the blocked 27-yard field goal attempt. They are, we're reviewing it here, Travis, or do we have a flag on the play? Oh, we do have a flag all the way back at the 34.
Oh, okay.
Sideline warning against Frostburg State. So.
Come on, man. You got
the drama there.
Yeah, you got this big play going on. You got to play. Oh,
So
sideline warning. We don't want you getting too happy.
Max Bardo will kick it again here on the extra point. Trying to make it a 20-13 game, and Bardo's PAT is up, and it is good. So at the half, Shepherd down by just 7, despite some sloppiness. They'll take it heading into halftime. We will take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the halftime show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, we are honored to help you plan a celebration of life that reflects one's individuality. Our trusted local team is here to see that your wishes are honored and that your special story is told.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti.
If you've been injured in a car accident, there are 3 things you need to know.
1, do not discuss your accident with an insurance company before you talk to a lawyer.
2, on average, car accident victims with a lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one.
And 3, at Mansion Ferretti, if we don't win, you don't pay us, guaranteed. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Here at Frostburg State, our score here at the half, Frostburg 20, Shepherd 13, as the Rams run back a blocked field goal right before halftime to get them right back into the game. I mean, there's the momentum for Shepherd. The special teams has been a highlight of the first half for the Rams. But still some things to clean up here at halftime as well, Travis.
And one of the things that they're going to have to do a better job is the penalties. So far, Shepherd has 4 penalties for 40 yards, and that has been huge because that was able to extend some drives, that was slow down some series. So penalties, You kind of expect that in the first game of the season. You got nerves. You got a lot of new people out there. That's going to happen. But when you get out there in a close game, those penalties could be the difference between a win and a loss. And we talked about special teams. Right now, the only reason Shepherd has a pulse in today's game is because of special teams. All 13 of their points have come by way of special teams plays. So, again, hats off to that special teams unit. The offense has yet to really get a foothold. The defense has had their struggles, but they're doing enough to keep them in the game. That was a huge play to end the first half, and that's a huge shot in the arm for the Rams going in at halftime because they didn't have much going their way before that point in the ball game.
Sounds like maybe Vince Fluke, the guy to be credited there, number 99 with the block.
Vince Fluke with the block, and we already know that Gio DeTolbert took it 75 yards. All right, so we're saying on here, number 90 got the block. Max Barba.
That's the kicker.
That wouldn't
They're saying
happen.
extra point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They didn't have who had the block.
I'll say if he made the block, that would be something. That would be outrageous.
No, they were saying he made the PAT
Okay.
on that one. But we'll go ahead and give you some first half stats here at halftime, which is brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to WVJusticeLawyers.com. Our first half stats brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to FordofHagerstown.com. For the Rams, we'll start with their running game here in this first half. Grant Swinehart comes in there in that second quarter, runs the ball very well. 3 carries, 37 yards. Average about 12 yards a carry. Jordan Barnett, 10 carries, 33 yards in that first half. Hardaway, he ran it 3 times. He gained 7, but he did lose a yard. So, Vince Fluke, as I mentioned earlier, he got the block for the Rams. But anyway, Hardaway, 10 of 20 in that first half, an interception for a pick 6. So both teams kind of balance each other out with a blocked kick return and a pick 6 return here in this first half. 120 yards passing for Hardaway. He was only sacked 1 time. Outside of that, he was solid in times. 5 catches, 55 yards for Cordell Batten. 3 catches, 44 yards for Malachi Brown. Jaden Ashby, 1 catch for 19 yards. Mason Miller, the tight end, 1 catch for 2 yards. For Frostburg State on the ground, it was Landon Alexander leading them in rushing, as he did not get a carry until the end of that first half, but he made his most of it. 3 carries, 29 yards. 4 for 22 for Owen Doyle and 5 for 14 for Smothers, as well as 4 for 14 for Fulton. For Miles Fulton through the air, 6 of 11, 118 yards and 2 scores. Javon Gilliard, 3 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown. Ray Adamas, 1 catch, 45 yards and the score. Alexander had a catch for 5 yards. Doyle had a catch for 3 yards. Tackle leaders for each team. Devin Harper at the half for Shepherd, 6 of them. Clayton Baden with 4. Nathan Muley with 3 and Will Ennis with 3. For Frostburg State, Maslewski, 4 tackles, a sack, and a pick 6. Player of the game type nominee. If it wasn't for some of the big touchdown passes from Fulton in that first half. Jalen Boyd, 4 tackles for him. Johnson, 3. And McTier, 3 as well. So, those were your first half individual stats. We'll take a break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from Kyle McLaughlin. Later on the halftime show, we'll give you some team stats. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
If you or someone you know suffers from the disease of addiction, help is available from the Berkeley County Quick Response Team with peer recovery coaches and support promptly to the homes of those who've recently experienced an overdose. This collective effort towards recovery brings resources and services to the community, including naloxone and treatment options. Call 304-267-1313 or visit the Berkeley County Recovery Resource Center at 800 Emmett Rouse Drive, Martinsburg. The Berkeley County Quick Response Team is funded through a DHHR grant with the Berkeley Morgan County Health Department.
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Honda of Winchester takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Honda of Winchester, owners just care more about you.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Welcome into the Halftime Scoreboard Show on TV10, WRNR TV on YouTube. I'm Colin McLaughlin as we've hit halftime between Shepherd and Frostburg State. The score 20-13 in favor of Frostburg State. Halftime Scoreboard Show here on TV10, WRNR TV on YouTube is brought to you by Dignity Memorial, Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery. Attention to detail like no other. Visit www.dignitymemorial.com. Let's now get some final scores for you from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, as a lot of games actually took place on Thursday, and that was Clarion with a 34-0 victory over Wheeling. Fairmont State defeated Seton Hill by a final score of 24-21, and Edinburgh knocks off East Stroudsburg 29-14. And then earlier today it was Davenport defeating Gannon by a score of 21-12, and that's your only games within the conference. So let's now go to the NCAA Division I level. Earlier today, the West Virginia Mountaineers got the first win of the season. The first win, for Rich Rodriguez in his return after 17 years as head coach of the Mountaineers. They defeat Robert Morris by a final score of 45-3. Your other D1 program here in the Mountain State, the Marshall Thundering Herd, they had a tough season opener today at number 5, Georgia. They fall to the Bulldogs by a final score of 45-7. At a few upsets here, the biggest one, I guess technically speaking, when you look at seeding, however, they were the favorite going into the game. Number 3, Ohio State at home defeats number 1, Texas, 14-7. So the defending national champions knock off the number 1 team in the preseason rankings. The other upset of the day so far just happening, Florida State defeats number 8, Alabama, 31-17. Crimson Tide losing for the first time in a season opener since 2001. Other final scores for you in top 25 action. Number 24, Tennessee defeated Syracuse 45-26. Number 7, Oregon defeated Montana State 59-13. Number 22, Iowa State defeated South Dakota 55-7. Number 2, Penn State defeated Nevada 46-11. Number 20, Indiana defeated Old Dominion 27-14. Games currently in action. It's number 18, Oklahoma leading Illinois State 21-0. Number 15, Florida leading LIU 14-0. And number 17, Kansas State leads North Dakota 3-0. And lastly, just kicking off, it's number 19, Texas A&M against UTSA, still scoreless in quarter number 1. And here in a few minutes, it will be kicking off. Number 9, LSU at number 4, Clemson. New Mexico at number 14, Michigan. Arkansas Pine Bluff at number 23, Texas Tech. That all kicking off at 7:30. And then at 7:45, it's Georgia State at number 21, Ole Miss. 9 p.m. tonight, it's East Texas A&M at number 16, SMU. And lastly, at 10 p.m., it's Northern Arizona at number 11, Arizona State in top 25 action. Again, our score at the half, Frostburg State leads Shepherd by a score of 20-13. The Rams getting a field goal block return for a touchdown to make it a touchdown game heading into the second half. Step aside, take another break. On the other side of that break, we'll have more Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show coverage back at the stadium at Frostburg State with Nick and Travis.
It's an instant classic. Hold still! Get Rock's delicious chicken sandwich and delicious burger with pickle aioli and Heinz thick-cut dill pickles.
We brought the beach to you. Get Rock's Crab Cake Sandwich with 70% real crab meat.
When it comes to surgery, experience and innovation matter. At WVU Medicine, our board-certified surgeons use the latest robotic and minimally invasive techniques to provide better outcomes and faster recoveries. We offer a full range of procedures including advanced hernia repair, anti-reflux surgery, breast cancer surgery, colon resection, gallbladder removal, skin cancer, and lesion removal. Trust the region's leader in advanced surgical care. Call WVU Medicine Surgery today at 304-596-2150.
The thing I'm most passionate about with my clients is that 95% of them that come to me, they've never been in trouble in their lives. They've got careers, promising futures, things that matter.
So thankfully, after it was all said and done, I had no DUI and I had no more stress facing me or my family.
When you're on the fence whether to hire a DUI attorney, I always say that you really cannot afford not to. My name is Harley Wagner. My law practice has been exclusively focused on driving under the influence cases throughout the state of West Virginia.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Yeah. I'll give it to him. You got one?
Yeah.
We're back here. Shepherd trailing Frostburg State 20-13. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Travis, we'll run down some team stats here before we get into maybe some keys for the second half. But Shepherd, 9 first downs in that first half. Frostburg State was able to gain 10, so pretty even mark there between the two teams. Rams ran the ball 16 times for 69 yards. Frostburg State ran it 16 times for 79 yards. Passing yards even, despite maybe a little bit at times feeling like Shepherd's been inefficient. Frostburg's only had 6 first-half completions, so both quarterbacks have thrown 50%, but Frostburg's hit the big plays. 120 to 118, Shepherd leading in the passing yards category. Total offense, 189 for Shepherd, 197 for Frostburg. So really offensively, Travis, it just came down to the big plays, and that's been the difference in, pick 6, and then, of course, for Shepherd, able to get some field goals, and then the blocked field goal leading to a touchdown for the Rams.
So we're all kind of surprised at how we got to this point.
Yeah.
But you look at Shepherd, they haven't played their best, but they're still within striking range, so they have to feel really good about that. And then you have their big play going into halftime. So it should be a brand new game for the Rams coming in here to the second half. And like you mentioned, Frostburg, for them to play as dominant as they did in the first half, to still only be up by a touchdown, has to put a little bit of worry into that sideline, realizing that this Shepherd team able to hang around, and you get a funny bounce or a big play here and there, and Shepherd could be sitting in the lead. So right now, both teams have to feel pretty good about where they're at. Frostburg, they're winning, so I'm sure they'll take that. And then Shepherd right within striking distance. And again, they can still stick to that running game. I don't think it's something where they want to abandon that running game. They want to keep pounding that ball. That's going to keep them on schedule. And most importantly, it's going to keep that Frostburg offense over there on the sidelines where they can't hurt you. And we mentioned it a couple times there in the first half. Shepherd struggling a little bit there on third downs, only converting 2 of 7. And again, 4 penalties for 40 yards. That hurts. But you look at special teams. We saw the big block kick that was returned for a touchdown. That was huge. 2 long field goals in favor. You also have a crazy punt. 1 punt for 52 yards. And then you have some really good kick returns. 4 kick returns, 89 yards. They're averaging over 22 yards per return. So special teams have been playing lights out for Shepherd here early on, and is the reason why they're still in this game right now. The offense needs to try to hold up their end of the bargain. And again, that defense played well in spots again, only giving up 50% completions as far as the passes, but it's just been the big breakdowns on the back end that have given those 2 big scores to Frostburg. So again, you're in the neighborhood, you're close. But again, you got to make those adjustments. You got to really pay attention to those details if you're looking to, one, stop their Frostburg offense and try to take the lead here in the second half.
Yeah, it's interesting because you brought it up. It kind of felt like Frostburg dominated the first half, but the numbers kind of tell a different story. And it comes down to just penalties and maybe a lack of execution, some turnovers as well for Shepherd with the muffed punt, which is another key stat on here, an interception. Those set up, or one is a Frostburg touchdown, the other set up a touchdown pass on the very next play. You take those plays out of the game, and it's a completely different game. It's a defensive slugfest in some ways. So just kind of interesting how this first half played out. Shepherd, obviously the kick return there at the end is huge with the blocked field goal, but a lot of the numbers tell you Shepherd would have been in the game, at least in terms of those things, either way. So looks better on the scoreboard now, and we'll see if the Rams can make some second-half adjustments, play a little bit cleaner football, and find a way to pull this one out.
And as the game wears on, that missed extra point by Frostburg begins to loom a little bit larger.
Yeah, that's true.
So, again, it was a crazy end to the first half, and it's setting up a very interesting second half here between these 2 ball clubs. Again, they haven't faced off against each other since 1981. How old were you in 1981?
I was negative 18.
I was only 1, so I can't talk too much.
So I was not even a thought at that time.
But that game was close, 17-7. Shepherd won. So
Frostburg has also been Division III, so they just recently made the move full-time to Division II in 2022.
Okay.
So makes sense in that way because you kind of look at it. It's like an hour and a half. It's the second closest Division II program. Why haven't these teams been playing? Well, they were Division III. So it makes sense why this rivalry, though, has started now. 6-year deal between the 2 schools, so they'll be going back and forth for at least that time. And so far, a close game here. And a big kick return out of the break for Frostburg State, but it's knocked out of bounds at around the 44-yard line.
Oh, the Shepherd kicker coming up. Landon Wood on that play. He saved a bigger return. Max Barba coming up. Not only can he kick, he can also hit.
Yeah, well, you were trying to credit him with the block earlier, so.
He's all over the place.
He's showing that he is maybe capable of something like that. Our second half kickoff brought to you by Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit BurkeandSchultz.com. We play hardball. Nick Furzlini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us here for Shepherd Rams football. Frostburg State has it at the 41-yard line. Receiver goes in motion, play action pass, dump it down underneath, and a big hit by the Rams. Setting the tone for the second half. Butler there coming in and making the play.
DeMarcus Butler coming up, the 6'3", 170-pound junior. Again, tremendous size for that star position. So kind of like a rover, an undersized linebacker that maybe has a little bit more pass game responsibility. Teams don't use a rover term anymore, but for the old school football heads, it's a rover.
Star, Bandit.
Yeah, all these fancy names.
This false start will move back Frostburg State here, so definitely the momentum on Shepherd's side is it's going to be 2nd and 19 here for the Bobcats with just 14-12 here in the third quarter.
And one of the few times that Frostburg has fallen behind the chains.
First penalty.
Yeah.
Right? So
let's see if the Shepherd defense is able to get a foothold and force them into a 3-and-out to start the second half.
The first penalty of the game here for Frostburg State.
And Butler played a little bit last year. He appeared in 7 games, had 3 tackles, one of those solo. So does have a little bit of experience, but now taking over that starter role.
Pass underneath, gets back to that original line of scrimmage there for Frostburg State. It's Ray Adamas once again.
And again, you see that Shepherd secondary. They have to show a lot of respect. There's a lot of speed on the outside for that Frostburg offense. So
Adamas one of those guys. He was a burner in high school.
Absolutely. So you got to show them that respect. And one of the things that you open up are those quick passes underneath. And that's what Frostburg was able to use that time to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Another 3rd and 10. A lot of wide open space over the middle. Let's see if the Bobcats try to attack that area of the field.
Adamas has in motion, 3rd down and 10. Looking to throw. Folden throws on the run, and did he get a foot in is the question there on that far side. I think he did. First down, Frostburg. Nice catch there out of the backfield for KJ Smothers.
Like we mentioned, Smothers, more of that 3rd down back, but he shows he can be the guy that can carry the load there early in the first half. Kind of got rotated out. They have a lot of different running backs that they've been able to circulate in, and all of them have been effective, and they all have their own unique ability that they add to the offense. And that time Smothers showing his great hands working a comeback. You don't see a lot of running backs running a comeback on the sideline.
There's Smothers spinning out of a tackle down to about the 40-yard line. There's the power back. Nathan Muley in on that play for the Rams. A nice catch there from the running back. And 2nd and 19 somehow turned into a first down for Frostburg. So they found a way to work their way out of that hole and now moving into Ram territory. 2nd down and 6 from the 41. 12-13 to go in this third quarter of play. Frostburg State on the move. With Miles Folden in the shotgun formation. Smothers the back here as they'll hand it to him. Dances in the hole, gets about a yard or 2. Rams that time all over it. And it's Joseph Groves once again in on the tackle, the linebacker. The leader at halftime. Looked like Davis was in there as well. For Shepherd will be 3rd down and about 4 from the 39 of Shepherd. Good game here. If you're just now tuning in on TV10, a crazy first half with some long touchdowns from Frostburg State. Shepherd's first touchdown of the season comes on special teams with a blocked field goal and a run back by Gio DeTolbert. 3rd down and 4. Folden with time, throws to the outside, complete underneath, and picking up the first down is Frostburg State.
That was Timmons.
Yep, Timmons
that time. Able to work back to the ball. He did a good job. A lot of times when you run those routes underneath, the wide receiver will have a tendency to wait for that ball to get to him, and that's not what you want. You want that wide receiver to work back through the ball. Don't give that defender an opportunity to get his hand in there to mess things up, and Timmons did a good job of corralling it in. He had a big drop early on in the game, looking to try to shake off those first game of the season jitters and get into a rhythm here in the second half.
Receiver in motion there for Frostburg State. They'll hand to Smothers again, and Smothers has the first down inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Nice run there on first down. Now we'll see Alexander. So again, a three-headed monster it appears for Frostburg State. They'll bring on some different runners. Smothers will check out. Had a nice catch on this drive as well. 1st and 10 from the 23. Frostburg with 10 minutes and a rolling clock here in this third quarter, up by 7.
And again, it's just a smooth, methodical approach here for this Frostburg offense.
Fulton yelling things at the line here. And here it is, the QB carry with Miles Fulton. He's got a big hole, lowers the shoulder right at the sticks.
You appreciate his gusto, but as your starting quarterback, you really don't want him taking hits like that. And again, we saw that early on in the game where they went with an empty backfield look, and then they just let Fulton call his own shot running up the middle. And again, Frostburg has just done a tremendous job of getting positive yards on first down, and it really just puts that defense back on their heels because now Frostburg's offense, they have access to the entire playbook here, second and short. They could go ahead and pound it to get the first down, or now's a great time to use a play-action pass.
9-yard carry for Fulton, 2nd and 1. Tight ends go in motion under center here is Fulton. He'll hand it to his back. That's Smothers, and Smothers is smothered up,
run,
but does find the first down.
You can see with these running backs, just patient, doing a good job letting the play develop in front of them. Let those big guys up front handle all the dirty work. You don't need to turn on the Jets just yet. And that's what he did on that play. Let those guys get a good push up front. You stay with your blockers as long as you can. And that time it paid off for Smothers, picking up yet another first down for this Frostburg offense.
First down and 10 from the 11. Frostburg moving the ball well on this drive. This one started with a few negative plays there. Muley was there originally, but then Harper has to clean it up. Maybe back to the line there.
That was Groves and Harper went in there to clean it up, but Muley did a good job of getting back there. We haven't called Muley's name a lot today, but he's been matched up with some beef up front with that Frostburg offensive line. Going across, left tackle, 6'5", 300 pounds. Left guard, Blankenship, 6'4", 300 pounds. Center, Herman, 6'2", 290. Right guard, Among, 6'3", 300 pounds. Right tackle, Pruitt the second, 6'4", 315 pounds. A lot of beef up front for Frostburg.
2nd and 11. Smothers the back. They'll give it to him. He's got a big hole to the outside. And Shepard uses that speed, though, to string him out. Looked like initially Smothers was going to break it, but the Rams defense, again, not big and physical, but more quick and able to get to the outside and contain that run.
And that time, it's like, and that's where that speed and athleticism really comes into play, because it'll appear like you have them out of position, like you have the advantage, and then as you try to get outside, you just see a whole host of defenders just turn on the Jets, and they're able to close out quickly. So that's something that this Shepherd defense really hangs their hat on, is pursuit to the ball, and that's what they were able to do on that last second down play.
Doyle the back here on 3rd and 7 from the 8. Fulton under some pressure. He's got a lot of room to run, but he throws to the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Frostburg State. Holding it in is Umstead for the touchdown.
And again, you see Gio DeTolbert looking over at Will Ennis, kind of looking at each other. And there again, there's been a lot of miscommunication between the corners and the safeties, and has been the result for those other 2 touchdowns that they scored through the air. It's going to result in a touchdown. When your corners and your safeties aren't on the same page, that's going to be problems, especially when you're going up against a veteran quarterback like Fulton, because he's going to be able to extend the play with his mobility and find those gaps in the secondary.
Extra point is good. It's Frostburg 27, Shepherd 13. We'll take a 1-minute break, a long drive to begin this third quarter. So Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for trust.
Did you know a fully loaded truck weighs 80,000 pounds?
I do know that they can cause a lot of damage in a wreck.
Over 40,000 people die every year in crashes.
And distracted driving is getting even worse.
I wish we had better ways to prevent distracted driving.
Me too. But one thing we can do is help people who've been injured in car and truck accidents.
Hurting almost heaven? Dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
play, 59-yard drive for Frostburg State to open up this third quarter. Leading to the touchdown, just 6:47 left here in the third. Umstead hauls it in. And scoring drives brought to you by Jason Barrett, Senate Finance Chair. Tough start to this third quarter, Travis. Not only do they get the touchdown, but a lot of time off the clock on that opening drive.
And again, just a methodical drive, and it really doesn't look like that Shepherd defense is able to make Frostburg uncomfortable. Like they're staying in really good down and distance situations. They're really not forcing any of the action. They're able to run the ball. They're able to use play action pass. The quarterback's able to get outside the pocket, extend plays, and just Shepherd really has not had any answers on that side of the ball as far as the defense being able to get a foothold.
Nick Zasir just bobbled the football, and now he's still going to
he's got a
room
chance
to run. There is a flag on the play. Zasir will get tackled down at about the 40-yard line, but a flag inside the 10. He bobbled the football and then made a play afterwards. Unfortunately, it might be a hold or a block in the back to bring this back. Third quarter, by the way, brought to you by Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers. Representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years, go to SkinnerWins.com, as well as Smallwood & Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Blindside block, the call here. Located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301 in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-3361 for Smallwood.
So it looks
actually,
like
it wasn't a blindside block, was what the official, I guess, said.
Oh.
So there's no flag, I believe, is what he said. So, hey, that works out well for the Rams.
And once
Gets
again,
it to the 42.
Special teams comes up big for Shepherd, having some monster
Nearly made
returns.
a mistake, but they made up for it. Hardaway, straight drop back, looking deep for the first time to the outside for Ashby, trying to jump back and make the catch, and there's the pass interference call.
Good defense, but he didn't get his head around. That's the only really complaint that you can have on that play. I think that's going to be what the referee's going to call. That was Joshua McTeer there in coverage. And again, he did a good job. He was in phase with the wide receiver. The only thing he didn't do correctly was get his head around. If he was able to get his head around and make a play on the football, I don't think that flag is on the turf.
So pass interference gives the Rams the ball in Frostburg territory now as they move it to the 44-yard line. So big penalty. You like the deep ball opportunity for Ashby, the 6-foot wide receiver, tallest starting wide receiver on the team for the Rams. So give him an opportunity on a jump ball and leads to the penalty. Ashby goes in motion. Here's the jet sweep action, and Ashby can't cut it up. Great play, and the ball came out, and it's recovered by Frostburg State. What a play by Jalen Boyd.
Man, oh man, he was a heat-seeking missile on that play. Was able to sift through the traffic, come up and put a big hit on the ball carrier. And man,
turnover's huge here for the Rams. A pick six, we mentioned it earlier, the muffed punt, and now a fumble by the wide receiver Ashby, who didn't have it on the jet sweep, and Boyd came through, read it perfectly.
And Jalen Boyd, we haven't said his name often, but you will hear his name.
He's made some big plays.
Let me say that. We have said his name often, and we're going to continue to say it. Last year was first team All MEC, led the team with 61 tackles, 35 of those solo, had 4.5 tackles for a loss, also had an interception return for a touchdown, had 3 forced fumbles last year, and has another one on the docket this year for him.
So Ram defense, they got to be tired after that long drive to open up the third quarter. Now back out on the field in a tough situation. Just a yard on the carry there, 2nd down and 9. Smothers on the carry.
And that's going to be an issue for this Rams team. One, they haven't forced turnovers on the defensive side of the ball, and on the offensive side of the ball, had 10 fumbles last season, in addition to 10 interceptions. So your plus-minus ratio as far as turnovers, not very good when you look at last year's numbers for this Shepherd team.
And this one knocked away by the Rams, G.O.D. Tolbert.
There was some type of miscommunication between the two wide receivers. You had two guys in the same area. G.O.D. Tolbert was doing a good job playing over the top, had a chance to step up, make a break on the ball, and the ball just smacked him right in the face.
So an injury there around the 40-yard line. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second break. It's Timmons down there for Frostburg State, so we will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We're back here at Frostburg State as Timmons a little bit hobbled off the field for the Bobcats. 27-13, our score, 5:36 left here in this third quarter. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith on the call. Kyle McLaughlin back in the studio. Dylan Bishop, our on-site producer. And Kyler High, our cameraman here, Travis. 5:36 to go in this third quarter. Big pass breakup by Gio DeTolbert just a moment ago. It's a 3rd and long. We'll see if the Rams can get off the field after their offense put them in a tough situation.
And Frostburg losing Timmons. Like we mentioned, one of the better wide receivers, one of their top returners from last year. So see if that eases the pressure a little bit on that Shepherd secondary. Maybe they can focus a little bit more resources on trying to contain Gilliard.
3rd and 9 for Frostburg State. Fulton straight drop. Under some pressure, the Rams get to him in the backfield. Nathan Muley. There he is again here in this second half of a big play. The sack will force the punt, and the Rams are coming back on the field offensively.
Muley and Edwards did a good job. And again, Shepherd, that's one of the benefits of having that 3-man front, and because it opens up your blitz package. You can blitz. You have so many variety of blitzes that you can use, and that time that's what Shepherd did. Did a little twisting action with the linebackers. That's tough for those linemen to pick up after the ball is snapped. So that time, the Shepherd defense getting creative with their attack and able to get a much-needed sack on 3rd down.
Looked like Baxter had some good penetration as well. You know, those nose tackles, they don't always get a lot of love, but got to shout them out.
Yeah, you got to, because they do so much dirty work there in the middle and don't get recognized for it. So when they do make a play, like you said, Nick, we got to shout them out.
4th and 14. So we got a timeout here. Not certain if it was, looks like it was Frostburg who burned it too. So they've had a few things here and there that hurts you. I mean, 4th and 14, might as well just take the penalty at that point. I don't know. But we'll keep it here. Travis, big stop there for the defense, for their confidence, I think, because they've had a few big plays given up, a long drive given up. Doesn't burn too much clock on that drive. This Frostburg State coming back out after a turnover. You know the special teams has helped you out here today, so can they make another big play? Is Baden going back deep? It's Clayton Baden, not Cordell, back deep for the punt return, by the way.
Well, they have them both listed.
Yeah, they both
back there,
return,
so you know they'll rotate and go with the hot hand. But fortunately for Shepherd, those are two veteran football players that you can rely on making heady, savvy plays back there. And that's what they're going to need down the stretch if they're looking to get back into this ball game.
But here's the punt. Pretty good one. Baden will have to fair catch inside the 15-yard line. So good catch on the run for the defensive back and punt returner, and the Rams will take over now. Tough field position. Haven't seen a whole lot of long drives from Shepherd. They've been able to get it after a good kick return into that 30, 40-yard line area, but haven't done too much with it. So we'll see here if they can put together a nice long drive here before the end of the quarter and get some points on the board and stay in this ball game here at 27-13.
Well, we're getting to the point where time is beginning to become a factor.
Hardaway in the shotgun formation. Receiver goes in motion. It's Malachi Brown. They'll hand it off to Swinehart. Swinehart, a huge hole for the Rams. Bounces it outside, and the VMI transfer steps out of bounds around the 25-yard line.
And a good block that time by Malachi Brown out there on the right side. Swinehart showing some good patience. The first hole was closed up, but he kept his feet, kept his momentum going forward, and then he took it out a little bit wider, able to get up inside that big block by Brandon Carr. And showed some good burst getting up the sideline. But, again, hats off to that wide receiver, Malachi Brown, out there blocking well down the field. When you get big plays in a running game, it's because your wide receivers are doing their job down the field and occupying those defenders.
Carr, the big right tackle for the Rams, named to the top 100. This could be trouble. Ashby looked like he slipped out of his route. Luckily, that throw was toward the sideline, and nobody could get it. Incomplete pass, because that ball hands up, that's a pick.
And, again, we talked about chemistry being in favor of Frostburg early on. That's where you're seeing those deep balls are lacking for Shepherd, because that's timing. That's repetition. That's chemistry. When you throw that deep ball, I got to know where you're going to be at. Where do you like it when the defender's here? And that's something that you hope to see develop over the course of the year. But right now, in game one, it's not been there for Shepherd so far. They were able to get a pass interference early on, but no such luck that second time around.
Another deep ball this time. Malachi Brown can't track it. Again, it looked like maybe he was bumped that time and slipped out of his route.
Looks like DeMarcus Butler was on that coverage. And you like that matchup. If you're able to get Brown on DeMarcus Butler, who's lined up in that star position like we talked about, you get him matched up basically on a safety, on a rover. You like that matchup. And that's what you want to do with all these different formations and shifts. You want to try to create those mismatches that you can try to exploit. But, again, that chemistry isn't quite there. That timing isn't quite there. So when that quarterback's throwing the ball, he's trying to hang it up there and give his receivers a chance to try to make a play on the ball. But, again, past couple plays, not worked out that well.
Penalty, though, against Frostburg. 5-yard penalty will help Shepherd out a little bit after some incompletions. I kind of wonder, too. I know you got to mix them up, but these deep balls not really a big part of your offense. And throughout the game, you've had a lot of success over the middle and a lot of success with the running game. So here they go back to the run, and Swinehart with a nice juke, and he could be gone. Off to the races is Grant Swinehart, and he's going to take it all the way for a Rams touchdown.
Hey, you
Beautiful
called it,
run.
You called it, Nick. Stick with that run, and again, Swinehart showing that burst right up the middle, does an excellent job of getting north and south. Where that Shepherd run game has been getting bogged down is when they try to take it outside. You really don't have those type of athletes in the backfield. But if you're able to get them going north and south, and again, it isn't so much in between the tackles, it's been in between the guards where Shepherd has had their success, and that's what Swinehart was able to do that time. He's able to get up there to that second level, and really nobody was able to lay a hand on him. And credit to that Rams offensive line. We knew that was going to be a strength coming into today's game, and so far they've been able to show that on quite a few runs so far today.
71 yards for Grant Swinehart. Takes it into the end zone for the Rams. The PAT good as well. Shepherd still in the game. 27-20 our score here in the third quarter with 3:48 to play. We're back in 1 minute.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. We have been challenged to sell 20 new and used vehicles each and every day for the rest of the year. This means you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the largest Ford store on the I-81 corridor, ranked among the top dealerships in the country in sales volume and customer satisfaction. If you are even thinking about buying a new car, now is the time. Visit HagerstownFord.com and choose your new ride, and we will bring it to you. You will sign all the documents from your phone and skip that awful finance process that consumes your entire day in the dealership. Let's recap. Hagerstown Ford must sell 20 vehicles a day. You will sign all the documents from your phone on your time. We will bring your new ride to you, and you're done. It's that easy. If you don't like it, return it. Our return policy is better than Walmart, and our buying experience is better than Amazon. And you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the #1 Ford store from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. Now, we want to be the #1 Ford store in the nation.
Hagerstown Ford, right off Interstate 81, across from the Valley Mall.
We're back here at Bobcats Stadium. 27-20 Frostburg State leads Shepherd here. But the Rams able to get in the end zone. A 4-play, 87-yard drive capped off by the 71-yard Grant Swinehart touchdown run. Scoring drives brought to you by Senator Jason Barrett. Trusted leadership, real solutions. 27-20 our score. 3:48 to go in the third. And Frostburg has it on the kickoff return. See if the Rams defense can get another stop. But a big return possibly here, getting out to about the 30-yard line is Frostburg State. That one, Umstead on the return.
A much-needed big play, and coming from Swinehart again, a bigger, more physical running back, 6 foot, 210 pounds. And last year, his longest run of the season was 15 yards. Well, he's able to shatter that record on that last run. And again, able to breathe life into this Shepherd football team. Again, you know Coach McCook, you already know him. He's going to be praising his guys for the resilience that they've shown so far. Now it's just they've got to tighten it up a little bit more if they want to pull even and eventually pull ahead. They've got to start stacking some of these positive plays together.
Yeah, Frostburg has the chemistry that you mentioned earlier, Travis, but Shepherd's still showing some fight. And very much in this football game. Here's a run up the middle. Short carry. We gain about 3 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 7. That's Doyle up there, running back.
And again, just a nice chunk on first down. You get 3 yards on first. It doesn't seem like a lot, but 2nd and 7 is a whole heck of a lot better than 2nd and 10. Because when you're 2nd and 10, you're basically putting yourself in handcuffs because now the defense knows you don't want to be in a 3rd and 10. So it's like you're going to try to do some type of high percentage play, probably a run play, and that's when they're going to usually use a run blitz on that second. But if you're able to get to 2nd and 7, such a huge advantage, and Frostburg has been in that 2nd and 7 seemingly all day.
We go to Doyle again. Great job by the Rams to hold him in the backfield there. Nathan Muley once again. He bounced off of McPherson in there and couldn't find any room after that. Muley able to track him down. Baxter runs on here for 3rd down. That front 3 changes some guys out.
There you go. You're starting to rotate in some beef up front for Shepherd. Like we said, McPherson, 6 foot, 290. One of the few big guys that they have up front, but they realize early on in the series, you might have to rotate in some of those big guys to try to slow down that running attack.
Passing situation, 3rd down and 7. Fulton under some pressure, dumps it down to Anderson in the flat. He's got some room to run, and Anderson has the first down. Harper brings him down around midfield. Big catch and run there for Alexander.
And Fulton just does a good job of just feeling the pressure, stepping up in the pocket. Then he uses his athleticism to extend the plays. Again, just a drop off to the running back because it looked like Fulton had room to run the ball himself if he wanted to, but you get the ball to your big running back, and then he's able to pick up a big chunk. And again, the defense is able to hold tough, but because you're in those 3rd and short situations, those type of plays they're going to be hard to defend at that point, especially when you have a quarterback with that type of mobility.
Fulton sends his running back Alexander in motion to the left of him now, and he'll feed him. Alexander trying to find the edge, and that's not going to work against Joseph Groves and the Rams defense.
Yeah. Good job. Just a split zone run that time for Frostburg. They've been having success, but it's usually because the running back has pressed it inside. He pulls that defense inside, and then he's able to bounce it out and get on the edge, but not that time. Able to pop it inside, and just the defense was able to quickly respond to that attack and gobble him up with a minimal gain.
Elijah Heisen did a nice job of setting the edge for the Rams. 2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard gain. Under a minute to go here in this 3rd quarter. 27-20, Frostburg State. Receiver goes in motion. He'll feed Alexander again. This time he finds a little bit more room on the outside run to the 45-yard line. Will bring up 3rd down.
And again, nothing fancy. Run, likely a pass here on 3rd down. So it puts you in a predicament. So you know Fulton is a good mobile quarterback. Are you going to assign a spy on him and kind of force his hand to make him pass? But when you assign a spy, you run the risk of having one less guy out there in coverage, and that's something that any defensive coordinator will pull their hair out. They don't want a guy out there guarding grass. They want somebody either getting after the quarterback or in coverage.
6 on the play clock, so Frostburg will have to run a play before the end of the quarter. They'll dump it down the flat again, and a lot of room to run for Smothers, and he's got the first down.
That time the Shepherd defender gambled and lost on that play and tried to make a play on the football, but Fulton, again, just able to get the ball just over the outstretched hand of that crashing defender on the edge. Again, and as simple as it is, it's just they're putting themselves in very good 3rd down situations where they're not having to take those deep shots down the field. The quarterback isn't having to hold on to the ball very long, and it really puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Well, into the 4th, our score, Frostburg State 27, Shepherd 20. This is Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 1 minute.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Arden-Nullville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Quarter 27-20. Frostburg leads Shepherd here as we begin this fourth quarter. And the Bobcats are on the move. Down to the 38-yard line. It's Frostburg State. Miles Fulton hands it off. Smothers. Excuse me. Bounces outside that time and picks up a few.
Jalen Edwards, you got to do a better job of setting the edge on that play. He came up, did a good job of trying to force things back inside, but then he got a little bit too eager and got sucked down inside and didn't maintain that edge, and the running back was able to bounce it outside. But again, easier said than done because Frostburg has those big uglies up front, and they do a good job of creating lanes for their running backs.
2nd and 6 here.
All right, empty backfield. Let's see if they go with another quarterback draw.
Yeah, it's been their go-to play in this formation, or maybe they throw something different at them here with Shepherd possibly expecting it. And they will look to run, maybe a delayed draw there, or maybe just didn't have what they wanted. McPherson trips them up after a couple yards on the play, bring up 3rd down. So can Shepherd get off the field here on this drive? It feels like every 3rd down they found a way to pick it up.
And on that tackle was Kyrie Wimberly. Did a good job coming up. And again, how many times has Frostburg been in 3rd and 5 today? Yeah. It's been 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, like all night long. And it's so tough when you have a quarterback that has that type of mobility and does a good job of keeping his eyes down the field.
Miles Fulton here, 3rd and 5 for Frostburg State. Fulton, quick pass, complete. There's his guy once again, Gilliard. 1st down, Frostburg, as they continue to milk away at this clock here, even though plenty of time to go here in this fourth quarter. 3rd down, and they convert again.
And again, Fulton, not a guy that's overly accurate as far as a quarterback's concerned. Last year, completing 57% of his passes. But when you're able to have those favorable down and distances, it really plays in his favor. And again, that's when his mobility is really that much more of a threat.
Alexander is the back to the right. They'll hand it to him. Alexander bumbling forward, runs into that Ram linebacking core and fights forward for a nice gain there. Bring up 2nd down. About 2nd and 5.
See Shepherd platooning guys in and out, trying to keep that defensive front fresh, realizing that they've been out there for long, extended periods of time, just doing whatever they can to not let those floodgates break open. Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the time of possession is because Shepherd on its only touchdown, the big Grant Swinehart run, they had a fumble as well, so the defense has had a lot of work here in this second half. It makes it sense why they've struggled on 3rd down. Fulton looking to throw for the end zone. And
got it.
Caught. Touchdown. Timmons. Thought for a second.
He just worked the corner. There was nothing fancy about that. Play action pass. They've been setting it up with a heavy dose of the run night long. Then that time you get Fulton out on the edge. He got his wide receiver matched up on an island that time, and Timmons just did a good job of just throwing out every juke in the book to get that corner to bite into the inside and Fulton just does a good job. He's a little late on the throw, but he makes up for it with a good pass location, throwing it where the defender can't make a play on it, where his wide receiver is the only player that can make a play on it. And that time, Timmons was able to bring it in.
Extra point is up and good. 34-20. Frostburg State leads Shepherd. 11:57 to go here in this fourth quarter after the Timmons score. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments want to help keep our communities, including backyard flocks and farms, safe from H5N1, the avian flu. To stay up to date with current risk levels and CDC recommendations, as well as disease prevention information shared by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, be sure to check out the Community Resources section of the Berkeley Morgan County Health Department at bchealthdept.org. This ad has been made possible through a grant-funded partnership with the West Virginia Department of Health.
11 play, 70-yard drive for Frostburg State. Ends in the touchdown pass there to Timmons. Our scoring drives brought to you by Senator Jason Barrett. Trusted leadership, real solutions. Travis, the defense, they got the third down a lot, and Fulton just continued to come through with some big throws. Timmons with a nice catch on a great route.
He routed up Minka on that play. That was tough. You get matched up on an island with a wide receiver of that caliber. And like he said, Fulton just does a good job. And he threw a great ball, threw it where his wide receiver was the only one that can make a play on the ball. And just an unfortunate, and just Frostburg has just done a good job of just creating those mismatches and then being able to exploit those mismatches. Oh, a little blooper.
Yeah, could be some trouble there. Malachi Brown, though, picks it up off the turf. He gets it off to about the 26, 27-yard line. Tell you what, I mean, Shepherd's special teams has been very impressive. Frostburg, though, with some of their kicking angles and different type of kicks, they've given some challenges to Shepherd, at least, or made it difficult in times with
because they haven't been able to field. Yeah, they haven't been able to field it cleanly. So, and that's you have to take your hats off to that Frostburg coaching staff because, like, look, hey, they have dangerous guys back deep. That's the only way that they really have a chance to get back into this game are some big plays on special teams. So let's just take that away. At this point, we're squibbing it from here on in. Yeah. No more chance of return.
I'll give it to Grant Swinehart, who's definitely made a big impact, and he runs right into the guy that Lanza was blocking, which is Mazalewski.
It looked like Swinehart had a lane up the middle.
Try to bounce it outside.
Yeah, was looking for something a little bit more. That's not your game. You hit the big home run right down the middle. Stay on Main Street. That's where things are good.
2nd down and 8 here for the Rams. Hardyway looking to throw, looking deep down the near sideline for Ashby and makes a heck of a catch. Inside the 40-yard line, Jaden Ashby. Tight coverage play, possibly a penalty.
Yeah, Osmond Fanny was draped all over him. The 5'10", 190-pound redshirt freshman.
Yeah, Ashby.
That was just a tremendous catch in traffic.
Yeah, great catch. Hardyway looking for him again, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's him again.
that man again. The way he's playing, it seems like there's more than one of them out there on the field. He's all over the place.
That's his 2nd sack. He's got a pick 6.
And
if the quarterback didn't have 4 touchdowns, he's my player of the game.
Yeah,
just he's been all over the field.
Yes, absolutely.
Mazalewski with another big play against this Ram offense. Puts them behind the chains on 2nd and 16. Low snap, Hardyway looking to run, throws back across his body for Grant Swinehart, who makes the catch. Good tackle there in traffic by Kurt Thomas. So it's a 3rd and long, not where Shepherd wants to be.
And again, you got an inexperienced quarterback as far as game time experience. The snaps have been low and off target all night, and that's not going to help an inexperienced quarterback getting settled down as far as getting into a rhythm. If he's having to almost dig the ball out of the turf each and every time, we said that Hardaway has had happy feet today, and that's not going to help him get those snaps correct.
Hands in motion. Hardaway avoids the sack. Keeping his eyes downfield, will throw the comeback route, and Malachi Brown adjusts and makes the catch.
Way to help out your quarterback. Good job, Malachi Brown. Again, working that sideline. Again, you see that Frostburg defense, they're showing him respect. They've read the scouting report. They know he's a burner. He has that ability to make plays. So they're showing a ton of respect. And that time, Hardaway doing a good job of using his athleticism to extend the plays. And he's had success getting out of the pocket and making those type of plays. And again, that was a big first down pickup for Shepherd, trying to keep them in this game.
First down and 10 here from the 26. Low snap. Hardaway looking deep again for Ashby. Jump ball and incomplete.
It was
McTeer there in coverage. It was a jump ball. It was either going to be a pick, a touchdown, or an incompletion. It ends up being an incompletion.
And Ashby's look like he's having to come out of the game. Looked like the defender fell right on his chest, so maybe got the wind knocked out of him a bit. But we see the deep shots, and it's kind of weird because the deep shots don't seem like to be part of the offense. It's almost like they have their regular offense and then like, well, I guess we'll take a shot. It doesn't seem to be incorporated as part of the offense, where it's something separate. Like they're forced to take those deep shots as opposed to like incorporating those deep shots into what they like to do on offense.
Swinehart in motion. Hardaway dumps it down to him in the flat. Nice catch and run for Grant Swinehart, who's had a nice second half for the Rams, giving them a spark off the bench. Going to be a few yards shy of the first down. We'll bring up a third down and short.
Nice
you
run
run
after
Jordan Barnett back on maybe here in this situation, or would that make it too obvious he's getting the football? 3rd and 2.
You need this first down, so don't get cute. Don't try to get too fancy. Move those sticks. Get a fresh series. And then you can start maybe thinking about taking shots at the end zone.
Swinehart is the back here on 3rd and 2. They'll just feed him, and Swinehart has a big hole. Cuts it back off that right side where the veterans are on the offensive line. You can picks up the first down.
Big push up front. You can see that right side of the offensive line just washed everybody down on that play. And Swinehart showing good vision, cutting back to the open space.
Huge hole again. Ty Lucas opened it up from right guard to make it a 1st and goal here for the Rams.
Again, running inside the guards.
Yeah,
not
2nd
even
and 1, actually.
Just keep pounding it.
They'll give it to Swinehart again. He finds the ball, and the ball came out. Certain if Shepherd, they did fall on top of it, it looks like. So the Rams keep the possession. Case and Lanza there falling on top of it is Swinehart. And the Rams have had those issues with the fumbles over the years, and they're able to fall on that one. So, under 7 minutes. It is a 1st down and goal here for the Rams. Barnett is now the back. They'll give it to him. Barnett, a big hole. Touchdown, Shepherd.
And again,
34-26, 6:46 to go here in this 4th quarter.
And again, the Rams' running attack has been most effective when they've been running in between the guards. Don't try to force the issue and run off tackle. They haven't had that type of success, but when they keep it in between the guards, that's when they've gashed that Frostburg defense for big gains. Again, you run Swinehart. He probably ran out a little bit of gas. You went to the well once too often. He put the ball on the turf. You bring in Barnett with fresh legs, and he's able to punch it in from there. So, again, a good sustained drive that time from that Shepherd offense.
Extra point good as well. So Shepherd's still in the ball game. 34-27, 6:46 to go here in the 4th quarter. Can the Rams get a stop? We'll have to wait and see. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Honda of Winchester takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Honda of Winchester, owners just care more about you.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Smith, Dylan Bishop, Kyler High, our on-site crew. Back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. He'll have the post-game scoreboard show for you. Will be a happy Colin with a Ram victory. You have to wait and see. 34-27 our score. Frostburg State leads Shepherd with 6:46 to go here in this fourth quarter. Great ball game so far. The Rams pounded into the end zone. Jordan Barnett takes it in from a few yards out for his first score of the day. 11 plays, 73 yards. Travis for the Rams. Scoring drives brought to you by Senator Jason Barrett. Trusted leadership, real solutions. And it was nice to see Shepherd put together a 10-plus play drive. And so it was a short kick, and that's going to be the first mistake on special teams for the Rams today as this one heads out of bounds.
And again, both teams have had success as far as kickoff returns are concerned, so you're starting to see a little bit of gamesmanship, but sometimes when you go with those directional kicks, a funny bounce, and it goes out of bounds, and now you have a team that's had an offense that has been rolling here in the second half. Now they have excellent field position to start their drive here late in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution. Located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301. Call 304-263-3361. As we have first and 10 here from the 35. And this one goes nowhere. The Rams all over it.
Good push up front.
Nathan Muley once again, as well as our fourth quarter sponsor here, CMA Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike. Call 540-686-1622. And go to CMA Honda of Winchester.com. Owners just care more about you. So second 11, a negative 1 yard run for Smothers. And they'll hand it to him again. Smothers sheds off one tackler. Big run there on second and 11. First down, Frostburg. They just stick with it. I mean, even behind the chains, they're able to run the football and run it for success.
And again, that's one of the benefits when you stick with the run and you don't get spooked out of getting away from the run. You don't get a big gain on the play. You don't go away from the run. You come right back to it. You make that defense commit because if they're having to dedicate so much to take away the run, that means they're opening up something else on the back end, and that's how you set up the play-action pass. So a good job of showing patience with the run game from that Frostburg coaching staff.
First and 10. Run it again, this time up the middle. Smothers keeps pushing. You know, that Rams defense got to be tired. Gio DeTolbert coming up and making the tackle, but like we said, besides that one long drive for Shepherd, it's been a lot of Frostburg State on the field here throughout this game.
So again, you got some more beef up front for Shepherd, just trying to slow down this running attack. You got Vince Fluke coming in. He had the big field goal block earlier in the game. We know Nathan Muley does a good job of manning that defensive end position. And we've had McPherson has come in, spelled some there in the middle. So, again, Shepherd trying to go with a little bit more beef up front.
Smothers running again for another first down in this second half.
But this Frostburg offensive line, we knew that was going to be critical throughout today's game. That's why you run the ball, even if you're not getting big gains in the first half, because it's paying dividends down the stretch. It's like a boxer going to a body in the first couple rounds of a fight, because you know later on in the fight, those shots to the body are going to hurt a little bit more and it's going to open up that knockout punch.
About 16 minutes of possession here in the second half for Frostburg State, so held it for a little bit over a quarter just in the second half alone for the Bobcats, and they're trying to milk this final 4 minutes to get the win. Smothers continues to run it here for Frostburg State, tracked out of bounds around the 35-yard line.
And again, Elijah Heisen. Shepherd has had some difficulties setting the edge. At that time, Elijah Heisen tried to come up, but again, when those big guys get their hands on you, it's not going to be easy for you to break it off, especially when those running backs have that type of speed and athleticism. They're able to get outside of that block. So, again, you're having to dedicate so much to try to shut things down in the middle. Sometimes you leave yourself a little bit exposed on the outside, and so far the vision, those Frostburg running backs, they've been able to take advantage just about every time.
Timmons back in the game. He goes in motion. They'll fake it to Doyle, looking deep down the field. Pass underneath. What a catch by Timmons to prevent that from being a pick.
Man, and that was good defense. Yeah. That was really good defense on that play because that was a good play fake in the backfield. And eBay did a good job of sticking with his responsibility. He didn't let his eyes go into the backfield. Made a good tackle right there in space against Timmons. So good offense. Good defense on that play, but again, another 3rd and short for this Frostburg. They have just been in 3rd and good all game long, it seems.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 here from the 31. Could Shepherd get that stop that they've been looking for? Fulton barking out singles at the line of scrimmage. QB sneak. Looked like he either fumbled or maybe lost it there initially, but
you could
not the kind of run you want.
He's so tall, and he just looks
so
awkward. Matter. He looks so awkward when he's under center. I don't think he got it.
No. 4th down.
Yeah. When you see him when he goes under center, he just looks like so uncomfortable when he's under center.
Frostburg's going to burn a timeout here. Or, I'm sorry, 2-minute warning. Here at 34-27. We'll see if we maybe get a measurement, but he looks to be about a half yard short. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10.
Howard Beck and Matsurif Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? LawPBM.com.
Under center again. Like if you look at him, he looks so uncomfortable when he's under center.
We welcome you back here to Frostburg State. So we'll see here, Travis. I mean, only 4th and about a half yard. You just mentioned it, How comfortable is Fulton going under center? He looks a lot more comfortable in the shotgun. 6'4".
And it's not like he has a small center. His center is a big. His center is a big boy, but
6'2".
It's just
2. Maybe they're giving him a little bit of height. I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes they do that for you
because he's almost like he's kneeling just to get underneath the center to get. But and that's just the way the game is nowadays. Because a lot of times, kids coming up through youth league and high school, they don't get under center that much. So it is an unusual thing for them. You even talk about guys transitioning to the pros, having to get used to playing under center.
And Shepherd jumped, I think. That's huge. On 4th down, hard net count coming, and it works. One of the crazier things you see in football because everybody knows they're going to go on 2. But unfortunately for
if
Shepherd,
they go at all.
Yeah,
if they go at all.
But sometimes, too, you don't want to anticipate that and then be late off the ball. That's even worse in some ways because that could lead to.
See, when you start thinking like that, Nick, that's when you jump all sides.
That's when you jump all sides. I never jumped all sides, Travis. They'll run the rock here, and Doyle with a big hole, fresh legs again. That's been big, I feel like, for Frostburg State. Not just the way they've been able to run the ball, but a lot of different backs getting a lot of different situations and carries, and they've all stayed fresh. And Shepherd has to burn
And they're all very similar in their running styles between Doyle and Smothers and Alexander. They've all done well. And right now, that's a pretty wicked running back room you got there for Frostburg. Those are your top 3 guys that you're able to rotate in, and they all bring in something a little bit special and just complement that big offensive line. And now you're starting to see that's why you put so much in to try to recruit those big guys to come into your program, because of games like this. When you're trying to protect that lead and salt the game away at the end, it's because you got those big uglies up front and they're doing their job.
Kind of reminds you of like a Westchester type approach where they bring in a lot of different backs and they're all kind of the same guy in terms of height and weight, but maybe run a little bit differently and bounce off of each other well, complement each other well. And from that perspective, there's a similar backfield here. Of course, Westchester brings it as well, and Cooper Jordan at quarterback is coming back for another year, so that should be...
That guy's electrifying.
Yeah, that'll be tough when the Rams take them on here later on this season, but trying to maybe hold on for a miracle at this point of how they're running the ball. Doyle close to the sticks. I think he might have got there, but we'll see where they spot him. That is a first down, so...
You can just tell Fulton is just so uncomfortable under center. Like his knee almost looks like it's touching.
Yeah.
When he's lined up under center.
It does kind of look like he has to bend down a good bit. I don't know. Maybe the center is a little bit undersized, but it doesn't seem to matter too much. He's able to get these handoffs, and at this point, Shepherd just burning these timeouts, hoping for a ball on the turf. That's all you can really play for, it seems like. Minute 43 left here, 34-27. If you would have told me Shepherd scored 27 today, I would have said they won. Based off how the defense has played over the last few years. So, give credit to Frostburg and how they continuously they outplayed Shepherd in a lot of areas. Yeah. I don't think both teams are pretty even, I think, overall. But pick six was huge. Turnovers. That's what ends up hurting.
And I think you just see two teams.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. I think you see two teams that are in two different situations, whereas Shepherd is having to try to, establish an identity. Frostburg has their identity.
Yeah.
They know who they are. They know what their strengths are. And I think that was the difference in the game.
So shotgun formation here. Adamas goes in motion. And they'll hand it to Doyle. Doyle bounces it to the outside. At this point, you might as well let him score, honestly. So the touchdown for Doyle, because if you're going to have any chance of coming back, you need a touchdown and then an onside kick. So it's not the end of the world to give up the touchdown here a minute 38. It does make it 40-27 with the PAT coming on.
And again, Shepherd has had issues with that all game long as far as setting the edge and turning those running backs back inside. And credit to those Frostburg running backs. They've done a good job. They press the hole. They do what they're supposed to do. They do what they've been coached to do. Press that hole inside, make that defense commit. And once they commit, you use that athleticism to get outside. And that's what Doyle was able to do, possibly for the dagger on that score for the Bobcats.
But this does give Shepherd an opportunity. They get the ball back. They need to go quickly and still kind of need a miracle. But at least at this point, they'll kind of be more in control of it, I guess you could say, here. Minute 38, 41-27 our score.
That's why I like you, Nick. You're a glass half full kind of guy.
I'm thinking Madden. That's what I would do.
That's
at
what
this
you're
point.
thinking.
I'd let him score. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
To Frostburg State University, Bobcats Stadium. Minute 38 left, 41-27. The Bobcats getting back on the board after another long drive against this Shepherd defense here in the second half. One of the big differences here so far, but Shepherd will need a touchdown, onside kick, and some miracles here at Frostburg to pull it out. But there's still a chance. Squib kick here for Frostburg. Shepherd will pick it up at around the 24, and Malachi Brown's going to get out to about the 30-yard line. Last drive, 10 plays, 65 yards for Frostburg State. Our scoring drives brought to you by Jason Barrett, State Senator, Trusted Leadership, Real Solutions.
And again, how many 10-plus play drives has Frostburg had here in the second half? It's been 3. It's
been a lot.
It's been a lot. That defense has been out there on the field a long time here in the second half. And again, it's just like we mentioned, it's just two teams in two different situations where Shepherd's trying to figure out who they are with this group that they have this year, where Frostburg, they know who they are. They have most of their guys in key positions coming back, so not the same type of challenge.
Hardaway dumps it down in the flat case, and Lanza makes his first catch of the day. 34 minutes of possession for Frostburg State, nearly 35 so far. They're 9 of 14 on third down as well, so some big things there. Hardaway looking deep for Malachi Brown and incomplete.
And good coverage that time by Will Burns for Frostburg. Did a good job of riding Malachi Brown out, using that sideline. That's always a corner's best friend, is having the Sammy sideline out there to help him out.
And Frostburg's held it for 22 minutes here in this second half alone. So defense been on the field a lot here in the second half. Hardaway looking to throw. Flag comes flying in. Might be a free play. Looks like it will be. So the sack doesn't matter there. Or at least it doesn't appear to matter. Looks like Christian Taylor was the man that would have been credited with a sack, but the offsides will take it away, and Shepherd will continue this drive here. Only minute 19 left in this one. Can the Rams get some big plays going? That's what it's going to take. Frostburg's obviously in a defense to try to prevent those big plays.
Yeah,
keep it in front.
Say only rushing 3, dropping back 8. And
Hardaway takes the snap from center Crummett. Under pressure and brought down again. That one. Haviland.
Slams the quarterback down with authority on that play.
Yeah.
And again, only rushing 3, but able to get pressure like that, and just things have not gone well for the Rams here today.
Fourth down. Hardaway takes the snap, going to chuck it deep. Nobody was even in communication with him, and it's picked off deep down the field. Intercepted by Josh McTeer, and that will do it. Frostburg can just kneel on the football and walk away with a 41-27 win over Shepherd.
And again, just you see the chemistry or the lack thereof on that Shepherd sideline, and just that's just something that's going to come with repetition. Doing it over and over again, that familiarity, like where the defender's playing you, where would you like the ball, and it's just something that's going to take time, and you're going to have to take your lumps in the meantime, and that's kind of been the case. And Shepherd just had a tough draw to start out a season, going up against a veteran ball club like Frostburg to start out this season.
Final few seconds, roll off the clock. It was a battle in this one between Shepherd and Frostburg State. Final 30 seconds rolling here. It was a fun one, though. I mean, back and forth game for the most part. Frostburg held the lead, but it always felt like Shepherd was in it, and a lot of points on the board. So
a lot of hard hits, a lot of big plays. Finally, football time is back.
Yep.
So
Rams will have a bye next week, and they got some stuff to work on for sure, but definitely some positives today as well. So see how they go, and it's not going to get any easier. Slippery Rock on the road in 2 weeks for the Rams. But we'll take a 2-minute break. We'll have our post-game show after this. Shepherd falls to Frostburg State, 41-27. Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
Atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Travis, we're about to get some post-game stats, but just your final thoughts here on this one.
Well, Frostburg, they have a really good football team. And still, I'm kind of scratching my head. How did the wheels fall off for them last year so bad, where they start out winning 6 straight games and then they lose the final 5? So I'm still kind of curious about that. But they have a good football team, and they have a team that is built to travel. They have a good running game. They have a stout defense that's opportunistic, that can make plays. They have a quarterback I think is just like a budding superstar. So a lot of good things to see for their Frostburg team. And Shepherd, we kind of knew that this was going to be a progression coming in. They had a lot of new people coming in, and that was always going to be the test, is how this team was going to be able to gel together, develop that chemistry, and develop an identity. I think that was really the difference in today's game. You had a team that was much more settled in who they are, and where Shepherd was still trying to feel their way around. So even when they did manage to get a little bit of confidence going and get into their rhythm there in the second half, by that time the damage had been done, because Frostburg was able to get off to that quick start, and they were always able to maintain that lead throughout the game. So like you said, Shepherd, a lot of good things that they can point to, a lot of things that they can build on, especially the special teams played lights out. I don't think you could really be happier with that group, with what they were able to do. The defense made plays here and there. They were able to pressure the quarterback at times. They had a shot at getting a turnover. I think that's going to be critical for that defense. That wasn't something that they did a lot of last year as far as forcing turnovers. I still think that's going to be the big challenge for them this year, and that's going to come by pressuring the quarterback. I think something that I think is really going to pay dividends is Shepherd using that bigger defensive front. I think that's something that they're going to have to do more this year, and use a little bit more size and strength as opposed to speed and athleticism up front, because that's going to try to keep them in the game early on. When you have that speed and athletic type of defense, that's usually a defense that's built to protect leads. I don't know that offense is going to be a front-runner type of offense this year. So I think you might have to switch up your defensive approach and put a little bit more bigger, more physical group out there. They got to fix things on the edge. It was too many times they lost contain, and running backs are able to bounce it outside. So a lot to look at for both coaching staffs, a lot of positives and a lot of things to build on. So hopefully both teams made it out of here with no injuries. And Shepherd, you have a chance to regroup. You got basically 2 weeks to get ready for a very difficult opponent. It's going to be much more of a challenging opponent than what they faced in Frostburg. So they have a daunting task ahead of them. But fortunately for Shepherd, they got a little bit more time to prepare for that challenge.
One thing that stands out to me about Frostburg State, even though not a whole lot of necessarily starters return, a lot of guys return for them despite losing 5 games to end the season.
Yes.
So that shows that this coaching staff has a good hold on its players. You look at Shepherd's 6-5 season, a bunch of guys transfer out. Now, some of that was due to them getting some Division I offers. Don't know if Frostburg still had those opportunities, but in today's college football, teams don't lose 5 straight and keep most of their team around. So give credit to Frostburg for finding a way to do that in the modern college football. But we'll get some postgame stats, and we'll wrap things up here from Frostburg, Maryland. Our postgame stats are brought to you by Fort Evans Archery of Inwood. Call 304-229-7064. Visit fortevans.com. We'll start with the Ramps. On the ground today, Grant Swinehart had a big 71-yard run to go with 9 carries for 135 yards. Jordan Barnett, 11 carries, 37 yards. The backs each score a touchdown. In Title Hardaway, he gained 7 yards on 5 carries. He had negative 13 total due to some sacks. Cordell Batten hauled in 5 catches for 55 yards. That was all in the first half. He was a no-show in the second half. Not certain if he was even really out there. Might have been an injury there to keep an eye on. Malachi Brown, 4 catches, 62 yards. Jaden Ashby, 3 catches, 48 yards for him. Grant Swinehart hauls in 2 passes for 12 yards. Only 1 punt. That's another thing that's weird about this one. Shepherd only punts once, but they lose. They forced 3 punts for Dominguez.
Those 2 things don't usually collide in the same sentence.
Defensively for the Rams, Devin Harper, 8 total tackles. Nathan Muley with 8 and a sack. Shepherd didn't get a whole lot of pass rush, as we mentioned earlier. Gio DeTolbert, 7 tackles. Clayton Batten with 7 tackles as well. Another thing to go to one of the points that you've made, Travis, throughout the day is the special teams. 7 kickoff returns for 142 yards. Not a kickoff return yard expert, but that feels like a lot. So,
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Especially with no touchdowns on kickoff returns as well. For Frostburg State, though, offensively for them, 70 yards for Smothers on 18 carries, 51 for Doyle on 9 carries, and Alexander 38. A total there, 43 rushing attempts. You throw in Miles Fulton's 8 carries for 19 yards, 43 rushing attempts for 175 yards for Frostburg State. Not necessarily a great average, but stuck with it and ran for over 170 yards.
And with that big offensive line, it's just that wears you down.
209 yards passing for Fulton as well to go along with 4 touchdowns. Gilliard, 4 catches, 75 yards, and the big 40-yard score. Timmons, 4 catches, 24 yards, and a shorter score for him as well. And Ray Adamas with 2 catches for 54 yards, a 45-yard touchdown on his day for some of the receiving scores. The other one was Umstead hauling it in for Frostburg State. Finally here, Mazelewski, the standout on defense, 8 tackles, 2 sacks, and a pick 6 for him. Boyd with 5 tackles, Thomas with 5, Harich with 5 as well. So that wraps it up for the post-game stats. Real quick, any other team stats? I guess total yards, 341 for Shepherd, 384 for Frostburg. They ran 11 more plays on the day, and 35 minutes of possession was big, especially that second half, 9 of 14 on third down. All right, Travis, we'll get to some awards, and we'll wrap it up.
But again, just to 43 carries.
Yeah.
That's just, you're just pounding the rock. And we mentioned that offensive lineman. They got 300-pounders across the board. And just the onslaught of being able to do that during the course of a game, man, that's tough to stop. That's just tough to stop. All right, so what do we got? What are we starting with?
What do we usually go to here? Collision for you?
All right, we can go collision.
Yeah, we can go collision of the game, brought to you by Cody's Autobahn, 8851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
Well, we had a couple great candidates to put in there, but I think the one you got to give it to is for Frostburg number 3. Wylan Herrick had that monster hit on third down towards the end of the second quarter. It was a pass over the middle, and he was able to come up, get a good, clean hit, didn't draw the penalty on that play. So hats off to him because that was just an absolute monster hit, and he's a terrific safety, and you can see why he is the man in the middle. He's certainly the sheriff of everything in between the hash marks, and he showed it on that play with that big hit there in the second quarter. So there we go. Mr. Herrick, he gets my collision of the game.
Catch of the game brought to you by WV Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere.
Catch of the game is going to go to Javon Gilliard, the 40-yard touchdown catch to kind of set the tone early on for Frostburg. It happened at that 10-minute mark in the first quarter and really set the tone for that Frostburg offense. So catch of the game goes to Mr. Gilliard.
Play of the game brought to you by C-Mays, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg. Stop in and see them today at 48 Kelly Island Road or call 304-263-8821. They're moving lives forward.
Play of the game, I got to give it to Vince Fluke. That blocked field goal there at the end of the first half, man, that made it a game right there.
Yeah.
That threw a lot of gasoline on the fire for Shepherd and really charged them up when they came out in the second half. So my play of the game, no doubt about it to me, with no time on the clock, Vince Fluke with the blocked field goal, he gets my play of the game.
Yeah, that Swinehart as well with the big run. The Shepherd had the better plays in some ways.
They had big plays, absolutely.
So did Frostburg as well. And then finally, player of the game brought to you by CMA Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike in Winchester. Call 540-686-1622 at CMA Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more about you.
Player of the game, you had a couple of candidates, but it's hard not to give it to the man that won it. Number 9 for Frostburg, Miles Fulton, the quarterback, went 16 of 22, completing 73% of his passes, 209 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was only sacked once. Also throw in a couple carries just to keep the defense honest. He did a good job. You could tell he was the field general out there today, and I think he's going to be a guy that is going to make a lot of noise this year for Frostburg, especially with that big front protecting him. They did another good job today keeping those defenders off of him. So my player of the game, quarterback Miles Fulton for Frostburg State.
All right, Travis, it was fun as always. Your final score here tonight, Frostburg 41, Shepherd 27. For Kyler High, our cameraman, Dylan Bishop, Travis Smith, Kyle McLaughlin back in the studio. Stay tuned for his post-game scoreboard show. I'm Nick Verzolini signing off. Frostburg 41, Shepherd 27. Your final score, Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
When it comes to surgery, experience and innovation matter. At WVU Medicine, our board-certified surgeons use the latest robotic and minimally invasive techniques to provide better outcomes and faster recoveries. We offer a full range of procedures including advanced hernia repair, anti-reflux surgery, breast cancer surgery, colon resection, gallbladder removal, skin cancer, and lesion removal. Trust the region's leader in advanced surgical care. Call WVU Medicine Surgery today at 304-596-2150.
Friends of Recovery is a local nonprofit that provides assistance to individuals in our community who are in the process of reestablishing their lives after active addiction or incarceration. Thanks to the generosity and support of so many in our community, the Friends of Recovery Committee has seen great success in benefiting the participants of the Berkeley County Community Corrections and Recovery Service programs. They are excited to announce that their 3rd annual fundraiser event is coming up on Saturday, October the 11th at 5:30 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Martinsburg. Please join them for an evening of inspiring testimonies, dinner, and silent and live auction items. For more information, you can send an email to friendsofrecovery2023@gmail.com. Once again, that's friendsofrecovery2023@gmail.com. Also, you can find them on Facebook at Friends of Recovery Berkeley County WV.
There's a new seafood place in town. Get Rock's Crab Cake Sandwich with 70% real crab meat.
They're a hit. It's a race between Rock's delicious chicken sandwich and delicious burger to see which is best. And the winner is, get both.
My kids. You know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
The thing I'm most passionate about with my clients is that 95% of them that come to me, they've never been in trouble in their lives. They've got careers, promising futures, things that matter.
So thankfully, after it was all said and done, I had no DUI and I had no more stress facing me or my family.
When you're on the fence whether to hire a DUI attorney, I always say that you really cannot afford not to. My name is Harley Wagner. My law practice has been exclusively focused on driving under the influence cases throughout the state of West Virginia.
Welcome into the post-game scoreboard show here on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube, brought to you by Flora Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Flora Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown. Unfortunately, the Shepherd Rams fall tonight on the road to begin the season against Frostburg State by a final score of 41-27. Let's now get some scores for you from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. All games already finished, as you had Clarion defeat Wheeling 34-0. Fairmont State defeated Seton Hill 24-21. Edinburgh knocked off East Stroudsburg 29-14, and Gannon fell to Davenport 21-12. That is your finals from around the conference. Now some scores in Division I football. The Mountaineers were victorious earlier today at Milan Puskar Stadium under Rich Rodriguez. They defeated Robert Morris 45-3. Some final scores in top 25 action of Division I college football. Marshall fell to number 5 Georgia 45-7. Number 2 Penn State defeated Nevada 46-11. Number 20 Indiana beat Old Dominion 27-14. Florida State upsets number 8 Alabama 31-17. Number 22 Iowa State defeated South Dakota 55-7. Number 7 Oregon defeated Montana State 59-13. Number 24 Tennessee defeated Syracuse 45-26. Then in the big game at noon, it was number 3 Ohio State defeating number 1 Texas 14-7. Games currently in action in top 25 play. Number 18 Oklahoma leads Illinois State 28-3. Number 15 Florida leads Long Island University 38-0. Number 17 Kansas State trailing North Dakota right now 21-17. Number 19 Texas A&M leads UTSA 21-10. And another top 10 battle. Number 4 Clemson leads number 9 LSU 10-3. Number 14 Michigan leads New Mexico 17-10. And number 23 Texas Tech leads Arkansas Pine Bluff 37-0. Lastly, number 21 Ole Miss leads Georgia State 17-0. 2 more top 25 games getting ready to kick off at 9 p.m. It's number 16 SMU taking on East Texas A&M, and at 10 p.m. it's number 11 Arizona State taking on Northern Arizona. And that is your scoreboard show here on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Again tonight, final score Frostburg State 41, Shepherd 27. So, Rams start the season 0-1. They have a bye next week. They'll be back on the 13th of September with a 6 p.m. kickoff yet again on the road against Slippery Rock. We'll have coverage of that for you right here on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. But for the rest of the crew, I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off here this evening.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, Power, Beck, and Matzaref Law Offices, Senate Finance Chairman Jason Barrett, Hagerstown Ford, Fort Evans Archery, Rocks Local Markets, the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, personal injury attorneys, Cody's Auto Body, the Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, Ameriprise Financial and the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, CMA Honda of Winchester, CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, CMA Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, Dignity Memorial Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery of Martinsburg, Floor Pools of Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg, and Next Level Auto Detailing. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd University Rams football. All rights reserved.